Chapter 322. Sir, don't you like tofu pudding? Why did you change it to soy milk? A yamen runner asked in confusion as he recalled the exchange just now. Well look, you can eat the steamed buns and drink the tofu pudding together. But this fruit is a little hard to chew directly. I like to drink it with this soy milk. There's no such good food now, unlike at home. At home, I drink milk. What do you think of this fruit? Zhang Zhong explained what to eat and what to eat. Then he said, actually you should eat porridge when eating buns. I don't like porridge, so I want tofu pudding. Generally speaking, tofu pudding is eaten with flatbread. I don't put sugar in my soy milk, and I don't put chives in my tofu pudding. Your Excellency, I understand now. If I eat the steamed buns and drink the soy milk, the fragrance of the steamed buns will be gone after a sip of the soy milk. Your Excellency, this is the first time I've eaten this fruit. It's delicious. The yamen runner who asked the question nodded in agreement. As for whether it was true or not, it didn't matter. If Sir said to eat it this way, then it should be eaten this way. Another yamen runner said, of course the fruit is delicious. It's fried with flour. Who can afford to eat it? It's just that we're living a good life by following Milord. Milord, don't worry, we'll listen to you in the future. We're not ingrates. Milord treats us well. So we'll help Milord get things done. Milord, what do you want to do? Let's not talk about official business. We'll talk about official business when we get to the yamen. Why don't you take the opportunity to talk about other things now? Otherwise, don't blame me for not giving you a chance. Tell me, who do you have in your family? As long as it's a child, I can make clothes for you. If there's anyone in your family who's about to give birth, you must tell me. I can guarantee that your child will be born smoothly. Don't hide if someone in your family is sick. I'm different from others. When a yamen runner is in trouble, he'll work hard. He can't wait until something happens to the orphan. The yamen won't care about this part of the money, so I'll pay for it. As for whether people will call me stupid, I don't care. I have money, so there's nothing I can do about it, right? Zhang Zhong began to follow Zhang Xiaobao's practice and arranged family matters for the bailiffs. Back then, Zhang Xiaobao had said that the job of a bailiff was a life and death situation. If you arrested them and they didn't resist, you should take care of them more often so that the bailiff would feel more at ease. What Zhang Zhong said was the truth and he did not think much of it. He was used to it, but it was different in the ears of the bailiffs. These words were heartwarming. Thinking about the bailiffs of Sanshui County, no one felt that the county magistrate was joking. Some of the weak-willed ones already had red eyes. Zhang Zhong quickly said, what are you doing? When we reach the yamen later, each of you will write down a list of things that happened in your homes. Now tell me, did you hear anything strange? I'm a person who likes to inquire. After asking around, I found out about the top scorer. I'm just asking about the top scorer. The bailiffs were amused by these words again. They were all thinking about it. Suddenly, a bailiff at the table next to them asked, Sir, how is your son? If he can't do it, let's take a break for 2 days. Everyone in the yamen will go to the mountains to dig for ginseng. Zhang Zhong did not expect the bailiffs to remember this matter. He had forgotten about it himself. He thought for a while and said, fortunately, in a few days, you will see him alive and kicking. At that time, you will have to lead him to play. The bailiffs expressed their knowledge one after another. Zhang Zhong listened with a smile on his face. My lord, I heard something this morning. There was a man named Zhang Chang. After he was released, his family was gone. He cried all night. It's sad to talk about it. A yamen runner suddenly said at this time. Oh, his family is gone? Then what is he doing now? Zhang Zhong did not expect such a thing. He also felt sad for the person named Zhang Chang. I don't know. Sir, if you want to know, I'll go and ask around. Sir, it's easy for such a person to get into trouble. If he takes things too hard, it's fine if he dies, but what if he implicates others? The yamen runner reminded. Oh yes. You eat first. I forgot something. I will go back and get it. Zhang Zhong did not have a good way to solve this problem. He was ready to go to his son's place. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan were eating there. When they saw their father come in and mention this matter, Zhang Xiaobao frowned and thought about it. Father, in fact, you can find something for the person named Zhang Chang to do. That's good. Let him be a postman who specializes in delivering letters. If he can write, it'll be even better. He can carry the 4 treasures of the study with him. If the family wants to send the letter to someone who can't read, they can ask him to write for them. Now he can send the letter to the county, and then send it to the surrounding counties. If he can find someone to do this, then he can send it to the whole province. It will make him famous. He can also take care of the search. As long as he meets someone, he can help to contact them. In this way, when he becomes famous as a messenger, his family may be able to find him. He will feel the pain of not having a family. In the future, when he sends letters and searches, he will be more serious. Father, what do you think? Zhang Xiaobao came up with such an idea. Well, Xiaobao, do as you say. I will go back and ask someone to find him. In the future, he will be in charge of delivering letters around here. Zhang Zhong said happily, turned around and walked out quickly. Zhang Xiaobao continued to drink the soy milk. Wang Wan looked at him and suddenly said, Xiaobao, your mind is not so simple, right? Don't always have other intentions. I am a very simple person. Think about it. I came up with an idea in such a short time. How can I think about other things? Zhang Xiaobao said with an aggrieved face. Yes, you can. Tell me, what follow-up have you thought of? I won't let you spread it. Wang Wan didn't care about Zhang Xiaobao's expression at all. Zhang Xiaobao drank another mouthful of soy milk. Seeing that Wang Wan was still staring at him, he finally couldn't help but say, well, I'll say it. In fact, it's nothing. When they have more people, they will ask around when they send letters. Whether they are active or passive, they can get some seemingly insignificant news. You know the news, right? It's information. Do you still need me to say the importance of information? When they develop, we will provide them with help. When the time comes, the further they send the letters, the longer our information network will extend. Know yourself and know your enemy, and you will never be defeated. Just like you know that I have something else. Wang Wan suddenly laughed and pinched Zhang Xiaobao's face. You little brain. When you were thinking of a way for your father to settle down, one was to send letters seriously, and the other was to find his family. In the end, there was something hidden behind this matter, just for a short while. Inspiration, this is called inspiration. It can also be said to be talent. The most important thing. Hurry up and eat before it gets cold. Zhang Xiaobao felt that this matter wasn't worth exaggerating. It was just an idea, and it happened to be in such a situation. Zhang Zhong returned to the restaurant once again, and told the Yamen runners about this matter. The Yamen runners expressed their approval, and some even suggested that everyone who wanted to find their family members should join in. This way, they could do things while looking for their family members. This matter was settled. The group of people ate breakfast, burped, and walked towards the Yamen. On the way, it was the first time that the commoners saw so many people from the Yamen working together. They all stopped to watch. One of the people who had eaten at Jinlai restaurant just now began to tell the story. A circle of people gathered around him, listening to him talk about how the Yamen runners didn't need to spend money to eat, how the county magistrate spoke kindly to the Yamen runners, and how he thought of a way to help a person who had just been released from prison. These were all things that the commoners were willing to listen to, especially when the county magistrate thought of a way to help a person who had just been released. Many of the commoners were moved, and they recounted this matter to everyone they met. When Deputy Xiao and Registrar Zhan, who had stayed up the whole night, came back around noon, they could hear the commoners praising the new county magistrate. Brother Byong, what exactly happened? It's only been one night. How did the commoners become like this? When Registrar Zhan heard the praises for the new county magistrate, he felt uncomfortable and worried. He was afraid that when the two of them worked together to drive the county magistrate away, the commoners wouldn't accept it. When that time came, they would send a report to the higher-ups, and the higher-ups would send people to investigate. Where could Deputy Xiao find out? He also didn't know. He was also surprised and worried. How many days had Zhang Zhong been here? Counting the days before and after, today should be the 4th day. What did he do in these 4 days? Why did the commoners praise him? Facing Registrar Zhan's questioning gaze, he directly said, How would I know? I'll know when I go back and ask later. There are many good things that the commoners have done for the officials. Those who should be dismissed have to be dismissed. Let's hurry up. Under his instructions, the carriage sped up a little. However, it didn't dare to go too fast. If it bumped into a commoner, the commoners would say anything. After a while, the carriage finally arrived at the yamen. Registrar Jean and Deputy Xiao got off one after another. The yamen runners standing there hurriedly greeted them. Qi ran, did something happen in the county? Deputy Xiao asked one of the yamen runners. Sir, nothing happened. Sir, did you hear that something happened? The yamen runner called Qi Ran asked doubtfully. Yes, it's good that nothing happened. Is the county magistrate here? Hearing the yamen runner's words, Deputy Xiao didn't ask anything else. He couldn't ask the commoners why they all praised the county magistrate. It was obvious that they were jealous. Sir, the county magistrate has been here for a long time. He said that he was waiting for the two of you to come back and meet him. There's something important. The yamen runner replied again. Chapter 323. Deputy County Magistrate Xiao and Registrar Jean walked into the yamen with confused expressions. They didn't know why Zhang Zhong was looking for them. Their antagonistic relationship seemed to have been confirmed, but he still wanted to look for them. Did he want to cheat them again? Just like that, the two of them walked to the signing room. They walked around but didn't see anyone. After encountering a bailiff, they found out that Zhang Zhong didn't do anything in front, but had run to the dilapidated area at the back. The two of them looked at each other and walked back. They knew that Zhang Zhong was going to spend his own money to repair the house behind the yamen. Including today, it should have taken him 2.5 days to repair it. They wondered if those messy things had been cleaned up. Passing through a moon gate, Deputy County Magistrate Xiao and Registrar Jean rubbed their eyes in disbelief. They couldn't reconcile the scene in front of them with the situation in the yamen before. All the houses behind were gone. The potholes on the ground couldn't be found, and there were no weeds. The ground was covered with yellow sand, and there were many piles of bluestone waiting to be paved. Dozens of people were digging the foundation in this yard. Since they still couldn't find Zhang Zhong here, the two of them continued to walk in another direction. The two of them knew that the residents behind the yamen in Huayuan County occupied a large area. There were 12 courtyards connected together. If it wasn't for the official who built this residence being executed, the official who took office later wouldn't have gone outside to look for a place. Ominous places were always taboo. They didn't expect that Zhang Zhong dared to live here, and made a big gesture of building. Was he not afraid of this ominous house, or did he not know about it? Deputy County Magistrate Xiao laughed and walked to another courtyard. When he arrived at this courtyard, he found that it was no longer the dilapidated house. To be precise, there was no house at all. Hundreds of people were digging holes here. They didn't know how these people were doing. The hole had been dug to a depth of 10 feet, but it seemed that it was not enough. They continued to dig, which made them wonder if the people who were executed buried something valuable here. Otherwise, why would they dig such a deep hole? Following the small path beside the courtyard, the two of them arrived at another courtyard. Fortunately, there was no one here to continue digging. Instead, there were many wooden planks that had been transported here. Similarly, it was unknown what they were used for. Brother Byong, why can't I see what kind of house the county magistrate wants to build? Registrar Jean said loudly on purpose. Not only for Deputy County Magistrate Xiao to hear, but also for the people who were walking back and forth. Otherwise, he wouldn't mention the county magistrate and just call him by his name. What he didn't expect was that those people who were working didn't seem to hear him. They were still working very quickly and seriously. Seeing that this method didn't work, Deputy County Magistrate Xiao directly asked a person who was hanging a wire there. What do you want to fix here? Do you know us? Yes, Deputy District Magistrate and Registrar General. We need to build something like a house here. Both of you are busy. I can't afford to waste any time here. That person glanced at the two of them and continued with his work. The person beside him was also very serious, as if he didn't see the two of them. This made Registrar General and Deputy County Magistrate Xiao puzzled. Since when did the people in Huayuan County become so serious? They glanced around and happened to see a Yamen runner standing there. He also looked at them and waved his hand. The Yamen runner ran over and said, "Deputy County Magistrate Xiao, are you looking for me?" Hearing this address, Deputy County Magistrate Xiao felt a surge of anger. In the past, he was always called Deputy County Magistrate Xiao. Why did it become like this now? Of course, he should call him like this, but when he heard it, he didn't think it was appropriate. Not wanting to fuss over the address, Deputy County Magistrate Xiao asked the Yamen runner, "Why do the people here do things differently from what they did in the Yamen before?" "That's right. In the past, they didn't get paid for their work. After 20 days of work every year, not only were they not exempted from rent and transfer, but they also didn't get paid. Now it's different. They get paid 30 coins a day. As long as they see someone not doing something seriously, they can go home immediately. In addition to us Yamen runners, the county magistrate's servants also come here from time to time. If we see someone not doing something seriously in the same place twice in a row, not only will those two people be driven away, but we will also be considered as dereliction of duty." While the Yamen runner was talking, he didn't forget to stare at the people doing the work over there. 30 coins. One day? Haha, County Magistrate Zhang is really rich. So what if you are derelict of duty? Will he not give you anything? Now you know that it's not easy to get things, right? Registrar General Zhang didn't expect that Zhang Zhong would give such a high salary to the people who were hired to work here. He also guessed something from the Yamen runner's words just now, so he gloated and said. The Yamen runner shook his head and said, "Registrar General Zhang, you are wrong. His Excellency won't use this to blackmail us. If we don't keep watch, we will be arranged to go to the front and be replaced by other brothers. I don't want to be replaced. I can't afford to lose face. When the brothers in front ask me how I came back, how can I tell them? The county magistrate is good to us, so we have to be more careful. Otherwise, the next time he gives us something, we won't have the face to accept it. Qiangzi, you have been moving the plank for a while. Why are you dawdling? Do you think I can't see you?" While the Yamen runner was talking, he suddenly pointed at the person moving the plank and questioned him. Others had moved 3 times, but he only moved 1 time. It was very slow for him to go back and forth. "Sir, please don't chase this lowly one away. This lowly one thought of something just now. That's why this lowly one was a little slower. This lowly one was thinking, should we get someone to draw some things on the houses after the construction is done? This lowly one has a cousin's family. He has been doing this for generations and his skills are not bad." Qiangzi was shocked. He was reluctant to give up the salary. The money he earned from a day's work was more than what he could earn in a few days. Besides, there was also food here. At noon and at night, there was at least 1 meat dish for every meal. It had been like this for 2 days. Today he was going to eat again. If he ate more here, his family would save money. If he was driven away, he would have nothing. He explained and moved faster. "Well, I heard that someone has a relative who can draw. Which one is it?" At this time, a servant of the Zhang family came in from another small door. He heard Qiangzi's words and asked, "Him?" The Yamen runner replied and pointed at Qiangzi. Qiangzi thought he was going to drive him away, but when he heard the question he was relieved and said, "It's me. My cousin's family has been doing this for generations. His craftsmanship is good. He can draw and carve. In the whole Huayuan County, no one can compare with him. Oh, except for our top scorer. What can't he do?" The servant of the Zhang family heard Qiangzi's words. He thought for a while and said, "Well, is it far away? If it's not far away, you can go and find him now. Find all his family members who can do this. We can have lunch here at noon. If they do it well, I will give you an extra 200 coins. "Really? It's not far at all. It's just 2 streets away. I'll go there right away. Well, can I ask if I can find such people and get more money?" Qiangzi didn't expect such a good thing. He was confident in his cousin's craftsmanship. When he was going to find him, he asked, "Yes, as long as they are useful and recommended, we will get some money at once." The servant of the Zhang family said with certainty. Qiangzi shouted happily and strode to the back door. They all came and went from the back door. The front door was the Yamen, so they couldn't go back and forth. Deputy County Magistrate Xiao said at this time, "You are just a servant. How dare you make decisions? Are you lying to them?" The servant of the Zhang family couldn't not know Deputy County Magistrate Xiao. He said to him, "Deputy County Magistrate, you may not know the affairs of the Zhang family. The servants of the Zhang family are different from those of other places. Those who can be brought out to do things are naturally trusted by the master. As long as they think it's good for the master, they can make decisions." "Oh, what if they make a mistake?" Registrar Official Zhan asked at the side. "If you make a mistake, you should think about what you did wrong. Next time try to do the same thing. Don't give up eating for fear of choking," the servant of the Zhang family said with a trace of pride. He was qualified to be proud. Which family's Zhuangzi could be compared with the Zhang family's? Which family's servant could be treated like the Zhang family's servant? The master believed in any servant. As long as they worked hard for the master, it was okay even if they did something wrong. According to the little child, ability was not a problem. Attitude determined everything. As long as they were not fools, they could be cultivated slowly. Deputy County Magistrate Xiao and Registrar Official Zhan couldn't say anything after hearing the words of the servant of the Zhang family. They could only think that Zhang Zhong was crazy. How could he give this kind of power to his servant? The two of them didn't want to stay in the wooden yard anymore. They walked to the next yard. They even forgot to ask the servant of the Zhang family where Zhang Zhong was. The two of them continued to look and walk. The courtyards were totally different from the ones before. They couldn't guess what was going on in one of the courtyards. When the two of them turned to the 11th courtyard, they finally found Zhang Zhong. The 11th courtyard was also the biggest one. There was also a digging pit here. The pit was bigger and deeper than the second one. Zhang Zhong stood at the edge of the pit and looked at it. He roughly looked at the courtyard. There were about 300 people. A smaller courtyard couldn't fit them all. There were 2 yamen runners and a scribe beside Zhang Zhong. They talked with him from time to time. Registrar Official Zhan and Deputy County Magistrate Xiao looked at each other and walked to the side of Zhang Zhong. Registrar Official Zhan said, "County Magistrate Zhang, are you looking for us?" "You're here? That's great." "Yes, I'm looking for you too. You came from the front, right? How is it? Do you have any ideas on your way here? What did you think of? Tell me." Chapter 324. Registrar Zhan and Deputy County Magistrate Xiao were shocked by Zhang Zhong's expression and tone. They didn't know what was wrong with Zhang Zhong. Could it be that his son was in a coma and his father's brain was also not working well? "Tell me, what do you think?" Zhang Zhong still had that smile on his face and asked again. Deputy County Magistrate Xiao didn't answer. He felt that Zhang Zhong was really crazy. Registrar Zhan couldn't figure out why Zhang Zhong asked this question. He hesitated and said, "There are quite a lot of courtyards and each of them is not small. It's just that I can't figure out what exactly they are going to do. I'm confused." "Confused, that's right. Do you have the idea of coming over to take a look when they are finished?" Zhang Zhong was more happy when he heard Registrar Zhan's words. He asked again. Registrar Zhan didn't say anything more, so he just nodded. Deputy County Magistrate Xiao looked at Zhang Zhong and felt that something was wrong. Zhang Zhong shouldn't treat them with such an attitude. Did he come here just to ask what they thought of his courtyards? That's right. It's better than nothing. Then tell me, do other people also have the same idea when they see it? Zhang Zhong patted Registrar Zhan's shoulder with satisfaction. Registrar Zhan was still in a daze and didn't avoid it. "Well, County Magistrate Zhang, you'd better be straightforward. Why did you ask us to come here? Don't tell me you want us to see what your future home will be like." Deputy County Magistrate Xiao wasn't used to this kind of thing. It changed too fast. Yesterday, they were cheated of a few thousand strings of coins and forced to release the people in prison. Today, it became like this. Zhang Zhong's smile became more sincere and said, "Actually, I asked you two to come here because I really want you two to see my future home and tell me your thoughts. Of course, you two are busy with official business and can't just talk about this kind of thing. The most important thing I asked you two to come here is to ask the question just now. Do you want to continue to wait for the completion of the courtyard? You have the idea, so do others. Yes, County Magistrate Zhang. We admit that we have that kind of idea. Then, Deputy County Magistrate Xiao had to follow the conversation. He really wanted to know what Zhang Zhong was up to. And then? Oh, then it's simple. There are a lot of mountains on the east side of our Huayuan County, and there are even more dangerous places. If the river is connected, there will be more people coming and going. It's also not far from the capital. As for me, I was thinking if I could pull some people over for sightseeing. As long as we build up the place, the scenery there will be beautiful. When more people come here, there will be more places to spend money. The two of you can also let your family members start a business. With a way to make money, you don't have to think of other ways. Whether it's greed or accepting other people's money, you have to be on tenterhooks. It's not worth it, Zhang Zhong said to the two with a sincere smile. However, the two of them had just been tricked once yesterday, so how could they believe Zhang Zhong's words? They thought that he might have found out about them going to the dock yesterday, so he found an excuse to scare the two of them. He was waiting for the two of them to retreat, so that he could monopolize the other side. At the thought of this, the two of them became gloomy. Zhang Zhong also saw it. Wei Wei shook her head and continued saying, "Just now I only talked about making money and spending money. If we want to build up the place, we need a lot of people. We don't look for people from other places, but only the people in our Huayuan County, especially the farmers. The spring plowing is over, and they don't have any other income at home. We find them to do the work first, and then reduce the rent. When the people have more food in their hands, they will spend money to buy things. Although this year's rent has been collected in advance, there is still next year, or the yamen will give them some wages. Otherwise, they may not be able to survive until this year's harvest. County Magistrate Zhang, the yamen has no money now. How can we give them? What's more, even if we build the place according to what you said just now, when we build it, people will think about what this place looks like. But the mountain and the river are in the opposite direction. It's far away. Who will come here for no reason?" When County Magistrate Xiao heard Zhang Zhong mention the rent, a trace of impatience appeared on his face. He added, "Collecting rent is the former county magistrate Wen's business. It has nothing to do with us or you. Naturally, someone will take care of County Magistrate Wen. Do you think we don't eat and give the food to the people? Only you, County Magistrate Zhang, have the ability to do that. We can't." Zhang Zhong stopped laughing. He felt that the two of them were really not presentable. Didn't they know that calculation was calculation, and politics was politics? He frowned and continued, "Don't worry about the money. We will have it in 2 days. We don't need to worry about the lack of people coming. Of course, we can't wait for people to come, but we can ask them to come. My family has several small shops in the capital. There is a pear garden in the capital, and a similar place will be built next to the pier here. Many people come and go from the capital. No matter if they are from other countries or from other prefectures, they all want to come to the capital. They are not familiar with the capital. We can ask someone to show them around. They can go to my shop to eat, buy some trinkets, and walk around the pear garden. Let's talk about other places to visit here, such as the pier here, between the clouds and the water and Shaoluoshui in Sanshui County, and the mountain in the east of our county. We can arrange everything for them. As long as they take out a certain amount of money, there will be someone to explain the legends and old residences to them. As long as they don't buy anything else, they don't need to spend more money. The money for the boat, the car, the accommodation, and the food will all be included. It will be much cheaper than taking the same boat, the same car, the same accommodation, and the same food. They will naturally be willing to come and take a look. They can't go back without seeing anything in the capital, right? They can save money and be safe if they follow our people. When they go to various places, if they are willing, they can spend money to buy something. Isn't that better? Zhang Zhong told the plan to the two of them, hoping to get their support. Before the two of them were removed, this matter had to be done. The people had started to eat wild vegetables and couldn't wait. Otherwise, they could remove the two of them and do it themselves. Registrar Zhan and Deputy County Magistrate Zhao's eyes lit up. They didn't think that they could do this. If they really arranged according to Zhang Zhong's plan, Huayuan County would indeed have more income in the future. It might even become another Sanshui County. If the two of them thought of this by themselves, they would really give it a try. However, this matter was thought of by Zhang Zhong, so the two of them could only follow suit. The two of them felt uncomfortable and looked at each other. After understanding each other's thoughts, Registrar Zhang said, "County Magistrate Zhang, aren't you a little whimsical? How can it be as simple as you said? You haven't said where the money will come from. Also, can you do the kind of thing that involves others? How will the money be divided? You haven't said these." County Magistrate Zhang, many people think like you, but that won't do. It's better to do things honestly. If you think too much and can't do it, you will implicate the people in the county and make them suffer. Registrar Zhang is right. How can it be as simple as County Magistrate Zhang thinks? If it is feasible, why don't others do it? Could it be that everyone else is a fool? Deputy County Magistrate Xiao also echoed. The two of them gave advice to Zhang Zhong in a tone of experience. Zhang Zhong thought of the people who ate wild vegetables, so he had to continue saying, "I will take care of the money. Even if there is no money, I will pay for the things over there. As for the matter of pulling people here, of course, it will be done by my family. As for how to divide the money, we can talk about it slowly. This is a small matter. So do you two agree?" County Magistrate, I agree with this matter. How many places have you made to make money in Sanshui County? You have this ability. Others didn't think of it before because they didn't have this ability. Who would have thought that Sanshui County would change from a middle county to a Shang County? A Yamen runner next to them also listened and watched. He also knew that the former Registrar Zhan and Deputy County Magistrate didn't get along well with the new County Magistrate. However, even if they didn't get along well with each other, they couldn't fight with the lives of the people in the county. The County Magistrate was obviously thinking for the sake of the people. These two people who only thought of themselves actually opposed for the sake of opposing. If this continued, the lives of the people would not be able to continue. Thinking of this, the Yamen runner spoke out to help Zhang Zhong. With a leader, other Yamen runners and officials like Deputy County Magistrate Dao also began to support, including the people who were digging the hole and heard the conversation. They also made silent protests against Registrar Zhan and Deputy County Magistrate Xiao. Seeing that the two of them were a little isolated, Registrar Zhan and Deputy County Magistrate Xiao realized that this matter was not easy to handle. If they didn't agree, today's matter would be known by the whole county. Their reputation was not good to begin with. At that time, there might be people besieging the Yamen. If they agreed, today's matter would also be spread out. They would also lose their reputation, just less. However, once there was a political achievement, it would all belong to Zhang Zhong. It was very likely that before the two of them could get rid of Zhang Zhong, his political achievement would come out. This was difficult. No matter whether they opposed or supported, there wouldn't be a good result. The two of them pondered there. Zhang Zhong was not in a hurry now. He said to the people who supported him, or to the people on this side, "In the future, our county's life will be better. I plan to make Huayuan County a Shang County like what I did to Sanshui County. At that time, there will be more people and it will be lively. The Yamen will have money to do more things for the people." After Zhang Zhong said this, Registrar Zhan and Deputy County Magistrate Xiao finally couldn't keep silent. They knew that the people's hearts had been won over by Zhang Zhong. If they didn't say something, the two of them would be finished. Chapter 325. County Magistrate Xiao is right. County Magistrate Zhang, don't worry and just do it. Even if you do something wrong, we will take responsibility for you. Don't worry. Registrar Zhan understood what County Magistrate Xiao meant and echoed. Unfortunately, those people were not fools. How could they not understand why the two of them said this? Especially those who knew about Sanshui County. They did not believe that the county magistrate could not do a good job. After the two of them finished talking, they were ready to leave. They really did not want to endure those people's gazes. Some looked at them with disdain, some looked at them with disdain, and some looked at them with disdain. Anyway, none of them were good. Seeing that the two of them agreed, Zhang Zhong immediately struck while the iron was hot and said, "How about this? I will take out the money first. When the government office has money in the future, you can give it to me. I am an official and cannot use my own money to do things for the imperial court. I will be impeached. If the two of you agree, let's write a document." When Registrar Zhan and County Magistrate heard that Zhang Zhong wanted to take out the money first, they exchanged glances and nodded at the same time. "County Magistrate Zhang is right. Then let's do it. I will write it right away. When I finish, you just need to stamp it." County Magistrate Xiao was happy. He felt that Zhang Zhong had finally become stupid at this time. When the government office has money in the future, then just wait. If they were to build on the mountain, the total cost would be at least a few thousand strings of coins. If they only relied on the government office's money, how long would they have to wait? Registrar Zhan was also happy. He thought about making money. There would be a sum of money in his hands soon. He would open a shop there and wait for Zhang Zhong to bring people over. Then, he would be able to benefit from it. When he thought of this, he also said, "Yes, County Magistrate Zhang can do this. The people of my county are really convinced. I can't help much here. Why don't we build a shop at the foot of the mountain and let County Magistrate Zhang do it more easily?" After the two of them finished talking, they hurried to the front to write the document. Zhang Zhong was finally relieved after he finished one thing. The Registrar Zhan beside him could not stand it and said to Zhang Zhong, "Sir, if you do this, what if the government office has no money? And that about the shop opened by someone else, my lord, aren't you Sai? It doesn't matter. We'll have money in a few days. As for the shops, it's better to open more. It's not like people will go there just because we open more shops. When things are done, we can start doing other things. At that time, we'll need everyone to work together. Whether or not the people of Huayuan County can live a good life depends on everyone." Zhang Zhong wasn't worried about money, nor was he worried about others taking advantage of him. His precious son had already thought about these things, so he didn't need to worry too much. The people in the surrounding yamen had never heard such words before. They all excitedly promised. When the people who had stopped working started working again, they felt that they had more strength. Even if no one was watching, they would not slack off. After a while, the registrar and the county magistrate came back and asked Zhang Zhong to stamp the official seal. They happily said that they were going to take a look at the mountain, but they ran away again. In fact, they went home to sleep. Zhang Zhong didn't expect them to help him. He would be satisfied as long as they didn't make trouble to a certain extent. He found a servant and asked him to go back and transfer money to build the temple on the mountain. The mountain was actually quite famous. Sun Simiao lived there. Now that he was dead, many people would go there to build a temple. Originally, they were going to build a temple, but now that the Buddha was destroyed, they had to change it. When the time came, many people would go there to burn incense and pray that there would be no illness or disaster. At dusk that day, the yamen posted a notice again. One was to recruit yamen laborers, and the other was to recruit laborers. The laborers would come to work. The first 20 days would be counted as normal, and the rest would be paid. As for the reduction of rent and transfer, it could only be discussed next year. The people in the county had paid double last year. After the spring plowing, there was no food to eat. Rent and transfer were not important. What the people needed most was money. Another advantage was that when they worked, the yamen would take care of their meals. In the past, they had to bring their own meals from home. The yamen laborers were naturally recruited from gangsters. The treatment was good, but at the same time, there were many restrictions. If anyone dared to do anything against the rules, they would be beaten dozens of times. If the gangsters didn't want to be yamen laborers, they could find their own jobs. The work of yamen laborers was most suitable for gangsters. They had enough brains and were familiar with some of the things in their industry. Now that Huayuan County was as chaotic as Sanshui County, they could only use this method. As for whether the gangsters were obedient or not, it was too simple. First, they would give them something, then beat them, and use the carrot and the stick. If the people didn't fight with the officials, no matter how powerful the gangsters were, it was useless. Moreover, the people now knew that the new county magistrate, Lord Zhang, came from Sanshui County, and was followed by 20 guards from the prince's mansion. Who would dare to be disobedient? In the beginning, Deputy County Magistrate Xiao and Registrar Zhan had the idea of using these guards. They wanted to write a memorial and say that Zhang Zhong had overstepped the boundaries. However, after thinking about it, they didn't dare to do so. When the time came, not only would they be offended, they could also say that they had sent someone to deliver something and had not returned. What else could they do? As soon as the notice was out, the people who had finished their work and returned home began to talk about what they had seen during the day. The elderly, women, and children at home all listened. As a result, from the next morning, the matter of County Magistrate Zhang's love for the people was exaggerated again. These two notices were the best proof. As for Registrar Zhan and Deputy County Magistrate Xiao, naturally, they appeared in the mouth of the people as negative characters. When the two of them went out for lunch at noon, the people they met looked at them differently than usual. This situation made the two of them very depressed. They regretted that they had said that they didn't agree yesterday. Later on they had agreed. They were forced to do so. Now the people in the county town were the first to know about it. It wouldn't take long for the people in the county town to know about it. The two of them found a small restaurant and stopped the car. They went in and sat down. After waiting for a while, no one came to greet them. Where is he? Registrar Zhan had been suppressing his anger on the way here just now. Last night, when he thought that Zhang Zhong would lose money, his good mood was gone. He slammed the table and shouted loudly, "Oh, isn't this Registrar Zhan and Deputy County Magistrate? I went in to do something just now. You two also know that I can't handle this small business by myself. What would you like to eat?" The shopkeeper, who had several positions, came over and asked, "Give me a serving of sliced lamb face and 2 pots of wine. Add more coriander in the sliced lamb face." Registrar Zhan ordered a dish. The two of them didn't intend to eat much. They just wanted to drink some wine. "Registrar Zhan, we don't have the sliced lamb face anymore. Would you like to order another one?" The shopkeeper said apologetically. "Then give me a serving of tofu mixed with spring onion and stir-fried bamboo shoots." Registrar Zhan ordered another dish. "Okay, please wait a moment. I'll be back soon." The shopkeeper began to transform into a chef and ran to the back of the restaurant. At this time, another 2 people came into the restaurant. They were 2 ruffians. When they came in, they took out a string of about 70 copper coins and waited there. After a while, the chef came back. The 2 dishes were placed on the table, and the wine was warmed. Only then did he look at the 2 ruffians who had just come in. As soon as he saw the 2 ruffians, the shopkeeper couldn't help but frown. He said to the 2 ruffians, "Feng Si, Feng Wu, get out. Don't think you can eat and drink for free in my restaurant today. I'm not afraid of you. The county magistrate has changed. If you want to find trouble, I'll go report it to the government office right now." "Uncle Jiang, you're mistaken. How can we eat and drink for free? Earlier, my brother and I came here twice. We don't have any money on us, so we owe you 65 copper coins. Here's 76 copper coins. You can give me and my brother a bowl of noodles, and I'll give it to you. You can order whatever you want for the remaining 7 copper coins. After we finish eating, we still have to go to the yamen to be yamen runners. After we go to the government office, we'll go to the government office to serve us." One of the 2 ruffians said to the shopkeeper with a smile, which made the other people who were eating the noodles very surprised. The shopkeeper also didn't expect to encounter such a good thing. He looked at the 2 ruffians carefully, and then at the money on the table. "Feng Si, you're not lying to me?" "I'm not lying. Uncle Jiang, please take the money first." Seeing that the shopkeeper didn't believe him, Feng Si picked up the money on the table and threw it over. The shopkeeper hurriedly caught it. It was really heavy. Since the money was in his hands, he naturally didn't doubt it. The shopkeeper couldn't help but ask, "Feng Si, Feng Wu, this is not like you." "Uncle Jiang, in the county, it used to be County Magistrate 1. Now it's County Magistrate Jiang. My brother and I want to be government officers. The notice said that if we did something in the past and didn't make people forgive us, we can't be government officers. Uncle Jiang, my brother and I want to change. Can you forgive us?" Feng Si begged. His brother Fang Wu also seemed to look at him eagerly. The shopkeeper looked at the two ruffians and sighed. Fang Siwu, your father died early. Only your mother raised you. You know how to be a good person. Don't do stupid things in the future. Lord Zhang is the master of Zhangjia Zhuangzi in Sanshui County. He is very capable and can't tolerate sand in his eyes. It's good to be government officers. Your mother won't have to worry about money in the future. The shopkeeper didn't say anything about forgiveness, but everyone who heard him understood what he meant. The two ruffians also shouted happily. The shopkeeper took the money and went in. After a while he came out with 2 bowls of noodles, a plate of lamb's face and 2 pots of warm wine. He sent them to the two ruffians' table. I know you can drink, but I can't let you drink too much. If you say something wrong when you go to the government office, you can't be government officers. Eat well. Uncle Jiang, 7 copper coins can't buy lamb's face. You can't buy wine either. What are you doing? Fang Si was stunned when he saw the food and asked. Nothing. I'm just giving you 2 food. In the future, I'm counting on you to protect the safety of the county. Eat. After you're full, go to the government office and talk. When the people from the government office come, I'll ask them and I'll help you. Eat quickly. This money is nothing. You're a prodigal son who has turned over a new leaf. The shopkeeper said happily. He knew all the people around him. As long as the two ruffians could work hard in the future, giving some food was nothing. Chapter 326. Registrar Jean was furious. When he asked just now, he said that he didn't have it. Now he actually gave it away. Did he think that he and the deputy magistrate were not here? Deputy Magistrate Xiao pointed at the tofu mixed with shallots on the table and said, Why is this tofu a little sour? There are also bamboo shoots. It's hard to bite them. Registrar Jean, you are talking about the lamb's face. You really didn't have it just now. Later on, someone sent it over. If you want to eat it, I'll get it for you. Deputy Magistrate Xiao, it's not the tofu, it's the soy sauce. You will get used to it after eating it. The bamboo shoots are grown old, not me. The shopkeeper said calmly. In fact, he did it on purpose. His family had only paid taxes for 2 years. For example, the tax for setting up a stall was collected daily. For a small shop like this, it was collected monthly. He was afraid that he would not be able to pay the taxes. Last year, the Yamen collected 2 years' worth of taxes in one go. He even had to borrow money to pay the taxes. In the past, he didn't dare to treat the registrar and deputy magistrate like this. But now he dared. There was a new county magistrate. Everything was different. Deputy Magistrate Xiao and Registrar Jean also knew what the shopkeeper was thinking. The news was spread this morning. If it was a new county magistrate, the people might not dare to treat them like this. But Zhang Zhong was different. Needless to say, he was the top scorer. He was also the head of Zhangjia Zhuangzi in Sanshui County, and had 20 imperial guards following him. Comparing the two of them, they were naturally much worse. Of course, the people were not afraid. How could the registrar and deputy magistrate, who had no foundation, want to fight with the master of Zhangjia Zhuangzi? The two of them also couldn't explain this to the people. It didn't mean that you were powerful just because you had a foundation. Sometimes even a small official could pull down a big official. The people didn't understand this. They only looked at their power and status. Forget it. Let's change to another restaurant. Registrar Jean stood up gloomily. He threw down his chopsticks and wanted to leave. Registrar Jean, you haven't paid for the meal. The shopkeeper couldn't stand it anymore and shouted at the other side. Everyone who wanted to eat all thought of these two officials. Deputy Magistrate Xiao was more stable. He took out his money and counted 15 copper coins according to the price of the dishes. He put it on the table and didn't say anything. When he passed by Registrar Jean, he pulled Registrar Jean. Seeing the two of them leave, the shopkeeper cleaned up the table with a smile and muttered, You collected my taxes for 2 years, and now the weather has changed. Brother Byong, are we going to let that shopkeeper go just like that? He's clearly doing this on purpose. Is he bullying the two of us? Registrar Jean complained as he sat in the car. What else do you want? Bring the lawsuit to Zhang Zhong? Or should the bailiffs come and arrest him? The first one was a self-inflicted humiliation, but do you think any bailiffs will listen to us for the second one? If I had known earlier, I wouldn't have treated them so well back then. Now all of them are like humans. They have done a lot of bad things in the past. Deputy County Magistrate Xiao also felt aggrieved. If Zhang Zhong did not rely on his reputation in Sanshui County, how could he make the people in Huayuan County become like this in just a few days? As for those bailiffs, they were all shameless. All he did was give some things and take care of a meal. How could they be bought over? If he had known earlier, he would not have kept those bailiffs. He would have kept those bailiffs who were capable and honest. He did not believe that Zhang Zhong could buy them over with those things. Registrar Zhan also thought so. He took a few deep breaths and then felt better. He said, "Just bear with it for a while. It will be easy when we get the money. Haven't you sent the ginseng to those people yet? It's not that easy to find. Do you think you can get 100-year-old ginseng just because you want to? You may not be able to get it from the palace. Let's go home and eat. It seems that we can't eat good food outside. We collected too little tax in the past. They still don't know how to be afraid." Deputy County Magistrate Xiao was still hungry. He only ate 2 mouthfuls just now and still felt uncomfortable. He decided to go home and eat. The two people's cars turned towards their own homes. All the people who saw their cars would mutter and spit at them. Who asked them to not be the county magistrate? With the support of the new county magistrate, the people also became bolder. The bailiffs in the yamen naturally did not have to go home to eat. They did not have money in their accounts, but Zhang Zhong had money. At noon, he did not take them to Jinlai restaurant for lunch. There were too many people there, and they could not squeeze in. The rooms that were left were not suitable for the bailiffs to eat together. Among the servants who followed them, there was also a cook. Lunch was prepared by the cook with a few assistants. The cook used a big pot to cook 9 dishes. There were 3 meat dishes and 6 vegetable dishes. There was also a bowl of egg drop soup. The staple food was steamed buns and rice. Every person in the yamen could choose 1 meat dish and 2 vegetable dishes. There was no limit to the amount of rice. These were the lunch boxes that Zhang Xiaobao sold. The only difference was that there were more types of lunch boxes and fewer types here. Even so, no one in the yamen said that they were not willing to eat. If they did not eat in the yamen, what could they eat at home? After the people in the yamen finished choosing, the rest were sent to the people who were working. If it was not enough, they would cook some more. Zhangjie Zhuangzi now had a lot of pork in storage. They had frozen it and asked someone to send a cart of it. It could last for a few days. Zhang Zhong also ate with the people in the yamen. As long as he was not working, he looked kind. When he was working, he would do what he should do. The only difference was that the dishes he ate were better than others. There were 2 meat dishes and 2 vegetable dishes. There would also be some mushrooms or wood ears in a bowl of soup. The menu was not set by him. He had no choice. His son and daughter-in-law specially set the menu according to the season. They said that it was something about nutrition. He did not understand what it meant. Anyway, he could not refuse the dishes that his son and daughter-in-law asked to eat. Moreover, they had to eat the same dish for 10 days. After the meal, they had to eat a specially prepared fruit plate. Everyone, come and try this. The food is sent here from Jinlai restaurant. I have no choice. I am not allowed to eat other people's food. The food I eat every day was set on the first day. Zhang Zhong said to the people in the yamen. There were not only some officials, but also yamen runners and handymen. Everyone was either squatting or sitting in the yard to eat. Zhang Zhong looked at the food that others were eating, and then looked at his own. He felt a little embarrassed to eat. It was okay to eat alone. If they ate together, others would be watching. The people in the yamen did not have the same thoughts as Zhang Zhong. Since when could the county magistrate eat with them? They could eat together and eat other people's food. No matter what, they could not be picky. Ikengji was also here. The meat dish he ordered was chicken stir-fried with bamboo shoots. The 2 vegetarian dishes were roasted radish strips and stir-fried dried vegetables. At this time, there were no fresh vegetables. There were leeks, but he did not order them today. It was his first time eating like this, so he was a little confused. When he heard the county magistrate's explanation, he said, "Sir, you can't eat like us. What does your family do? There are restaurants one after another. If you eat like us, won't it weaken your family's reputation? What's more, sir, there are not many dishes. There are only 4 dishes. They are also rice, although the rice is a little different. Sir, you can eat at ease. Don't worry about us. 1 meat dish and 2 vegetarian dishes. Look, there is also a shrimp and cucumber slices over there. Can cucumber be considered a vegetarian dish now? That shrimp is also meat. Sir, you don't have to give us face. We are satisfied." While speaking, Hikenji pointed at a person who was in charge of cleaning. That person's vegetarian dish was shrimp and cucumber slices. At this time, that person also raised his head and said, "Sir, if you let me eat with you, I will feel good even if I eat chaff, let alone such good food. I will remember this meal for a lifetime. Hee, when I go back, I will tell the child that the county magistrate treated me to a meal today." Zhang Zhong felt that this person was already taking care of him by cleaning in the yamen. He did not know how to speak at all. If other county magistrates heard this, they would immediately fire him. However, he felt comfortable when he heard this. A person who did not know how to speak was telling the truth. Some villagers in Zhuangzi were like this. Seeing that everyone was eating happily, Zhang Zhong also ate 2 mouthfuls of rice. In the future, this rule will be set. Not only lunch, but also dinner. If you want to stay for dinner, you can tell in advance. The cook will prepare it. In the morning, you can eat at Jinlai restaurant. Those who are still waiting at midnight will also have a simple meal. It can be fried rice or wonton. You can choose whatever you want. Sir, there is still dinner at midnight? That's too troublesome. Chao Daobi said in surprise. It's not troublesome. In the future, there will be people who will be on night duty. You can eat like this, but it will be more troublesome for my 2 children. It has always been like this in Sanshui County. There are snacks in the inner courtyard of Zhuangzi. You can forget about eating them. Zhang Zhong now treated the people in the yamen as people in Zhuangzi. When everyone heard about snacks, they laughed. He was already an adult. Why would he eat snacks? Zhang Zhong said a few words and did not say anything else. He lowered his head and ate. The fragrance of the food floated in the courtyard. When everyone was eating, they felt that this was the best meal they had eaten in their lives. I have a question. Who is in charge of the recruitment of yamen runners? Everyone was eating, and there was no one guarding outside. In the end, a 17 or 18-year-old man came in. He stood there for a while and waited. Finally, he could not help but ask. The people in the yamen turned their heads to look. Zhang Zhong put down his chopsticks and asked, "You are from Huayuan County? What did you do before?" That person was obviously a little afraid. After entering the yamen, he looked around and finally stopped his gaze on Zhang Zhong. The look in his eyes immediately changed. He said, "Sir, I am here to be a yamen runner. I am from Huayuan County. I used to do this." As he spoke, his hand moved. No one knew how he did it, but there was a thin, small blade in his hand. Everyone understood. He was a thief. Judging from his hand movements, he was quite skilled. The yamen runners did not recognize him, which meant that he had never been caught before. Chapter 327. Zhang Zhong looked at the person in front of him who was at a loss. He thought for a while and said, "Show us what you've got." "Here?" That person was a little uneasy and asked back. "Right here. Everyone, stand up and stand close to each other. Let him come over and see whose things he can steal." Zhang Zhong felt that it was very good to have a thief as a bailiff. In the future, when he patrolled the streets, as long as he saw someone stealing, he would be able to find out. Now what he needed to see was how this person was able to do it. The people who were eating all stood up and gathered together to see how this thief would steal. The person smiled embarrassedly and said, "Everyone is looking at me. How can I steal? When I came here just now, I stole from 2 people. I've decided not to steal anymore in the future. Sir, look, these are also the things of the people in the yamen." As the person spoke, he took out 2 seals from his arms and waved them in front of the crowd. He said, "One is from Deputy Xiao, and the other is from Registrar Zhan." A bailiff immediately ran in front of the person and took the 2 seals. He breathed out and pressed them on his hand. He said, "They are indeed from Registrar Jean and Deputy Xiao." Ha ha. No one knew who was the first to laugh, but everyone started to laugh as well. Even Zhang Zhong's mouth moved. That was to say, Deputy County Magistrate Xiao and Registrar Jean had already lost their seals. Put the 2 seals in the signing room first. When Deputy Xiao and Registrar Jean come over in the afternoon, hand them over to them. Well, from now on you are a bailiff in Huayuan County. Tell us about your family. After 3 days, someone will go over and verify it. Then you can do your job. Zhang Zhong knew that there were many people following Registrar Jean and Deputy Xiao, but they lost the seals. It was not because they were careless. It could only be said that this thief was too good. Ah, can I really be a bailiff? I don't need to take the exam anymore. My name is Louis. I have grandparents, father and mother at home. The man started to talk, and everyone started to sigh. No wonder he wanted to steal. One person couldn't feed 7 people. Apart from him, the elders and younger siblings in the family all had white spots on their bodies. He didn't dare to meet people outside, so he could only hide in the mountains and open up some land. He would depend on the weather to eat. Sometimes he could eat for a few days when the weather was good. Normally he would dig up some grass roots. When he came out to steal things, he would sell them. The money he stole would directly buy things. He lied to his family that he had found a good job and could earn money. His family didn't know. He was afraid that people would see him when they went down the mountain, so they didn't know what he was doing. Zhang Zhong couldn't help but sigh. In this world, there are always some things that can't be done by manpower. Well, you are now a bailiff, but you can only do things after 3 days. We have to send someone to your house to check. Ah, really? That's great. Big brother, I'll return your money pouch to you, Louis said as he took out a money pouch from his sleeve and handed it over to the bailiff who came to take the seal. The bailiff took the money pouch and looked at the county magistrate. Your Excellency, from now on, as long as Brother Liu is on patrol, there will be no thieves. The others, including Zhang Zhong, didn't expect that the bailiff's money pouch could be stolen. This skill was amazing. Louis' skill was immediately recognized and everyone welcomed him. That, since I'm a bailiff, can I eat something? Louis suddenly said. Seeing that everyone didn't understand, he said, I came out this morning and saw the notice. Someone read it to me. I knew that the government office was recruiting bailiffs, so I wanted to come. But I was a little scared. Until now, I haven't eaten anything. Other than stealing the seal of the deputy county magistrate and the registrar, I haven't stolen a single coin. Then why? A bailiff asked. I will be a bailiff in the future. I feel that with my skills, I can be a bailiff. How can a bailiff steal things? Louis explained. Then why did you steal from the deputy county magistrate and the registrar? The bailiff asked again. I heard from others that they don't listen to the county magistrate's orders. Even if it's a good thing, they still oppose it. That's why I stole it. Louis explained again. Everyone understood that the deputy county magistrate and the registrar had angered the people. Zhang Zhong naturally wouldn't blame Louis. He only needed to send people to the mountain to see if there was that family, and if that family knew Louis. He said, What do you want to eat? I'll get someone to prepare it for you immediately. Louis rubbed his stomach and looked at the food boxes in front of everyone. He pointed at one of the food boxes and said, I can eat this. I can eat even if others eat it. I'm too hungry. Okay, you eat this. Zhang Zhong didn't say anything and took his food box in front of Louis. Those people in the yamen didn't know what to say. They wanted to reprimand him, but they didn't know what was going on. Louis took the food and ate it. After eating for a while, he saw that everyone was looking at him. He felt a little embarrassed and said, I'm too hungry. It was difficult to steal things last night. Those thieves seemed to be staring at others. If someone didn't understand, they would grab them and beat them. Later, I found out that it was because of the notice. Everyone wants to be a bailiff. Yesterday, I was stared at by 4 people. It wasn't easy for me to steal, so I stole some steamed buns and ran back home to give them to my family. I didn't eat at all. Why is there fungus in the soup? When everyone heard his words, their first thought was that he was an expert. He was definitely an expert. He could steal steamed buns while being stared at by 4 people. What level did he have to reach? What you ate was the county magistrate's food. His Excellency hasn't finished eating yet. A handyman said. It's fine, it's fine. In a moment, I'll have someone send some snacks over. If you feel that the food doesn't taste good, tell me and I'll have them change it. Zhang Zhong didn't care about the food. If he wanted to eat, he could eat it any time. Talents were hard to come by. He didn't think like this before, but later on he gradually found out that people with skills, even if it was stealing, were also talents. This was called a sword with 2 edges. Sir. Louis didn't know what Zhang Zhong was thinking. When he heard others say that he ate the county magistrate's food, he didn't know how to express his thoughts. Eat. In the future, do your job properly. Especially if you see someone stealing on the street, you must catch them. Zhang Zhong waved his hand and said. He could think like this, but Louis couldn't think like him. His nose turned sour and he nodded. Sir, you can rest assured. In the future, as long as I pass by a place, no one will dare to make a move. Zhang Zhong chuckled and approved of him. But in his heart he was thinking, if my son makes a move, what can you do? If not for the fact that Xiao Bao was still young, who in this world would dare to make a move? Thinking of the scene where his son made a pair of chopsticks disappear in front of the 2 families, Zhang Zhong gently shook his head. Of course, he didn't know that his son, Zhang Xiaobao, had to pay such a high price when he was learning how to steal. He had to get soap with boiling water and narrow holes to catch oil droplets between his fingers. At this time, Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan were also eating lunch. The 2 people ate a lot of dishes, but the amount of each dish was very small. Zhang Xiaobao had a kind of strict devotion to food. He could eat expensive food, but he absolutely couldn't waste it. Xiaobao, the construction on the mountain over there started today. You haven't told me what attractive place there is. What if no one comes? Wang Wan only knew that the construction on the mountain in the east was starting. She was worried that the traffic was too small, and they would lose money. If they lost money, it would be better to directly change the money into things for the people. Zhang Xiaobao picked up the last piece of chicken on the second plate in front of him. When he put it to his mouth, he said to Wang Wan, Do you know what this place was called at that time? Yawang Mountain. Sun Simiao was here. Now he is dead. In the past he lived a good life. What kind of rich person was he? He wrote when he had nothing to do. How can no one come to such a good place? We have to help advertise and let the world know who lived here. Then we can find a few people who really study medicine. Then we can let them help treat the people who come here. As for us, we can open a candlelight shop at the foot of the mountain. Most people wouldn't think of it, right? When we make money, we can take out a part of it to give free medicine to those who don't have money to buy medicine. We have to promote this place. Then we can get a few scholars to write poems. We can also help advertise. Ah, this is Yawang Mountain? That's not right. I have been here before. There was such a big lake here. Why is it gone now? Wang Wan didn't expect that this was the place where Sun Simiao had stayed. At the same time, she was a little confused. Zhang Xiaobao put the chicken in his mouth. At that time there was no water in the Dead Sea. We had to rely on manpower to pump water to replenish it. At that time the Yellow River was cut off. You can go and take a look now. How can it be the same? Do you still remember what that lake looked like? We can make a lake. Su Sure can build a Su Causeway. We can make a Zhangwang Lake. That's fine too. If we make a lake, the scenery will be better. We can also raise things in the lake and collect more boat fares. Wang Wan understood after Zhang Xiaobao's explanation. Geography would change. For example, some rivers might not be there now. The one that changed the fastest was the desert. At night, one would sleep by the river. In the morning, the river was gone. That was how magical it was. Zhang Xiaobao didn't agree with Wang Wan's way of thinking. Who said that we should collect boat fares? As long as we do all the work, the money will be very cheap. We don't expect to make a lot of money here. What we earn is the joining fee. If we don't pay, our tour guides will ignore those places. For example, during the free activities, if Jinlai restaurant doesn't pay the joining fee, our tour guides can say a few words. If they eat and drink in places that don't have a unified signboard, they won't care if they eat and drink and get sick. What is the first impression of others? It's those places where it's easy to eat and get sick. In fact, people have eaten and gotten sick in the past. Xiaobao, you are too bad. Wang Wan replied. Chapter 328. Zhang Xiaobao peeled another prawn and placed it on Wang Wan's plate. He continued, "You don't have to force me. I'll say it myself. Yes, it's not that simple of an arrangement. I still have a backup plan. Any industry has its own rules, and the tourism industry is the same. What makes the most money? The right to set the price when doing business, what can still make money, and the right to set the standards when the rules appear. We first proposed the concept of tourism and formed a series of tour guides. Then we are the standard setters of the tourism industry. If we say that a certain place is good, it will be good. Then how can we say that it's good? I know. If it's good for us, it's good. If it's not good, it's not good. Is that what you mean? Xiaobao, I just realized that you have a gentlemanly demeanor. Oh, it should be called the demeanor of a gentleman. Then tell me, what's the next step after that? Don't look at me like that. I know you. If you take the initiative to say it, there must be something you're hiding. This is called avoiding the main points and attacking the weak points. Don't you know what the Special Second Department does? Do you know our purpose? Wang Wan was not blinded by Zhang Xiaobao's initiative. Even if the right to set the standards was indeed shocking to many people, and they were shocked by Zhang Xiaobao's calculations, she was an exception. To her, if Zhang Xiaobao said that he would pull down the moon tomorrow to take a look, she would also think that there must be Saturn or Mars hidden somewhere. She realized that during this period of contact, she had thoroughly understood the nature of an international swindler. That was, the bottom line of people like them was not something they said, but something they did in the end. Until the last critical moment, no one could figure out what was in their heads. Even if Zhang Xiaobao had already explained a lot in the past, and it seemed that he had really exhausted all his ideas and was at his wit's end, she still could not be sure that this would really be the case. Comrade Wang Wan, let me solemnly tell you something now. When the last trump card is revealed, when the story ends, only regret is left. Is your purpose a policy? I understand that. Isn't it to punish the past to avoid the future, and treat the sick to save people? I've already thought of this. All right, let me tell you. In the future, our tour guides have to prevent certain things, such as cheating customers, seducing customers, etc. We also have to have a team doctor who follows the tour guides. We can't let anyone fall ill because of illness, especially not in Sun Simiao's house. Originally, I wanted to keep some secrets, but now that you've asked, I don't have any. I feel that there are actually two sides to this matter. To be specific, it's... Comrade Zhang Xiaobao, tell us the truth. It's not a team doctor or a scammer. That's just an assistant, okay? It's about the details. As for your ability in this area, there's no need to think about it. It's just a matter of tactics. I'm asking about the strategy now. After Zhang Xiaobao had explained some things, Wang Wan still did not believe him. If others knew about this when she was older, they would definitely criticize her, but she still insisted on asking. Zhang Xiaobao looked at the prawns that he had just peeled for Wang Wan and muttered, I've peeled the prawns for you for nothing. I don't have a strategy. I'm just thinking that in the future, the tourism industry needs to understand the culture, geography, environment, special products, mineral resources, and so on. We can use the coal in Elm Village. Don't other places have it? Wouldn't it have been better if you said so earlier? Let the tour group get you some information about various places when they're earning money, just like the messenger. But that's social information, and this is resource information. You clearly had this plan, but you didn't say it out loud. You had to wait for me to ask personally. Is there a follow-up? I always feel that it's not that simple. Just like how you push Sanshui County to Shang County step by step, giving your father a kind of credit and a kind of competitive incentive during the speech. Who would have thought that the auspicious signs you made back then would be like this? I don't really believe what you said about chance encounters. I feel that even if you didn't encounter them, you could still do it. So now I want to ask you, Sanshui County's layout, is it really just to win the hearts of the people this time? As long as you're willing to spend money, won't you get the hearts of the people if you want to? Wang Wan looked at the real Zhang Xiaobao in front of her and recalled all the information about him. Suddenly, she felt that she didn't seem to know him well enough, or rather, she couldn't keep up with his thinking. Zhang Xiaobao thought for a while and said, "In fact, I don't have any ideas. The main thing is whether Huayuan can become Shang County. If Huayuan can also become Shang County, then I can continue to push for the next step. It's too early to talk about it now. Cuckoo, when Huayuan also becomes Shang County, you can realize your dream. I know that you've always wanted to personally command an army and fight against the enemy. I will find a way to find such an opportunity for you, but you have to train the army in advance." "Really? How can you do that?" Wang Wan had always wanted to personally command an army. She felt that she was the best. She had learned this at the beginning. She didn't expect that Zhang Xiaobao's plan was to make her wish come true. She had learned it and won the championship in some exercises. However, no matter how realistic those exercises were, they couldn't be compared to a real battlefield. She had always wanted to play her role and be a female general, the kind who strategized. But now she only saw Zhang Xiaobao strategizing. She really admired Zhang Xiaobao. He was indeed talented in this area and was willing to work hard. His ability to analyze information and figure out human nature could be said to have reached a superb level. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to deceive so many people. Now that she heard Zhang Xiaobao's plan for her, Wang Wan realized for the first time that sometimes, some people's feelings for some people couldn't be expressed with words. If she didn't force him today, Zhang Xiaobao would never say. He couldn't possibly lie to her about this kind of thing. His deception was nothing more than hiding some things. Wang Wan admitted that lying had already reached the level of art for Zhang Xiaobao. The situation he was facing now made him feel disdain. He only needed to use normal methods to earn money. Looking at Zhang Xiaobao, who was eating like a child, Wang Wan suddenly understood that Zhang Xiaobao was actually very lonely. He was constantly searching for that trace of warmth and family, just so that he could live like a real person and not laugh at the wind and clouds. "Xiaobao, do you feel lonely at the top?" Wang Wan thought of this and suddenly asked. "Just so. I still have my family, the village, and you. I want to see the day when you can also feel this way when you command the army. The world is so big, who else can do it but me? I'm looking forward to being a talented military commander." Seeing that Wang Wan did not continue to ask about the plan, Zhang Xiaobao finally breathed a sigh of relief. At the same time, he also admired Wang Wan, this strong woman, for being able to give up her own ideas and endure it. "I feel that there is a problem with the era we appeared in. If it was the Southern Song Dynasty, I would definitely let those people around the country know how powerful they are. The true embodiment of military command is actually very simple. It is to make others unable to hit you, so you can hit others, and form a large number of troops in every place." Wang Wan was happy in her heart, and told Zhang Xiaobao the ultimate goal of military command. Zhang Xiaobao nodded after listening. "Brilliant. In fact, deception is the same. Don't let others deceive you, and don't let others deceive you. Let's eat." It seems that all things in the world that are targeted are like this. For example, football. You can kick into other people's goal, but you can't let others kick into your goal. What's the difference between saying it and not saying it? Oh, then let's continue to eat. In fact, there is really a difference. Take the current polo for example. I always feel that it is not played well. Everyone is gathered together to grab the ball. Do you remember what the formation was at the beginning of football? Wang Wan ate a mouthful of water and said, she loved to eat this kind of food, no matter what season it was. What formation? Zhang Xiaobao really did not understand this aspect. The 1010 formation. There were various evolutions later, such as 442, 352, 541, and so on. There was even a scary formation, which was the 1353 formation. Wang Wan said next to him, "Are you lying to a fool? Can there be 12 people in a team?" Even if Zhang Xiaobao did not understand the rules of football, he knew that a team had 11 people on the field. The goalkeeper came out. Don't think that the goalkeeper can't play football. Their ball control skills are even better than some midfielders. Do you understand what I mean? The tactical evolution of football took a long time to complete. At that time, no one dared to say that they could fully understand the changes of this formation. Then what about polo? Who is Li Longji? Literature, music, politics, sports, as long as it is something that people can be involved in, he is basically not ordinary. Polo is one of them. If you make a better polo field and give more rewards, then there will be fewer people who come to play polo. Wang Wan's thoughts were very active at this time. She was there giving Zhang Xiaobao ideas. Chapter 329. When Zhang Zhong arrived at the foot of the mountain on the east side, there were already many people gathered there. Not only were there people from Huayuan County, but there were also people from other places who came to visit their relatives or look for work. Some were holding shovels, some were carrying pickaxes, and some were carrying baskets. They all knew that they were going to build a better path up the mountain to prevent people from being squeezed down when there were too many people. Zhang Zhong had already sent people back to Zhuangzi last night to deliver things here, including all kinds of tools, ropes, and so on. He paid for it first. When the time came, he would take the money from the yamen and naturally sell the things at home. The grocery store couldn't always keep the goods in stock. When he arrived, it was already 3 p.m. Fortunately, he was riding a horse. Otherwise, he would have to wait for a while. The people who delivered the goods here would probably have to wait for an hour or two. In order to wait for them, Zhang Zhong asked the yamen runners to be in charge of choosing people. First, they could use people from the county. If there weren't enough people, they could use people from outside. The young and strong people were in charge of building the road, and the slightly weaker people were to assist at the side. If there were women, they would be in charge of cooking and boiling water when the weather was hot. The yamen runners walked to the front of the crowd. They didn't bring a register, so they couldn't recognize everyone. They could only let the people look at each other. After all, this project was for the welfare of the people of Huayuan County. Sir, if you do this, won't it be a waste of money and manpower? Ikenji also followed over. He also rode a horse. He felt that the other side hadn't prepared for the matter mentioned in the morning, and it would be a waste of energy to do it here first. Zhang Zhong knew what he was thinking. He had already arranged for someone to go over and give instructions. The rest of the matter was to find some elderly people here and ask them about their legends, stories, and so on. When the time came, the tour guide would recite them for others to hear. If it wasn't for the fact that he wanted to clean up his grocery store, he wouldn't have prepared to take things out from home. When he heard Hikenji's question, he said, "Hikenji, I don't want to work so early. The dew in the morning and evening is still a little cold." "Then why does Sir still want to do this?" Hikenji naturally couldn't think of what it meant to stimulate domestic demand. Many of the commoners have already run out of food. If it weren't for the wild vegetables, they wouldn't have any food to eat. Let me do the math for you. I'm planning to hire 2,000 people to work on the mountain. The yamen is building my house 24 hours a day without rest. At night, they will carry lanterns and work, rotating back and forth. I need 800 to 900 people. These people were paid. The candles for lanterns and other things had to be bought in the county. Food had to be bought in the county as well. If there wasn't enough in the county, they could get some from elsewhere. My family could get some, and some merchants would also come over to sell. Merchants had to pay taxes when they sold things, and they also needed people to help transport their goods. The tax money was collected by the yamen, and the people who transported the goods also received their wages. The people in the county raised some chickens, ducks, and pigs, and usually kept them for themselves. I have already asked Zhuangzi to send some chickens and piglets over to let the commoners raise more of them. The commoners were afraid that they wouldn't be able to sell them, so they were waiting for the people here to start working. At least they would have meat every day. When the commoners see this situation, they would realize that the people working in the county didn't eat enough. When the people outside come over to sell, they would also send some of their poultry and livestock to sell for money. After selling all of them, I will send out another notice. 1 month later, the roads in the county will be built. This road can't be finished in a short period of time. In the entire county, as long as there are people, the roads will be built there. Zhang Zhong stopped talking and looked at Hikangji. He waited for Hikangji to speak. If Hikangji could follow this train of thought, he was prepared to put him in an important position in the future. Hikangji didn't know that the county magistrate beside him had the idea of putting him in an important position. He wouldn't specifically think about this, but he did try hard to think about it. In the past, he really didn't think about this kind of thing. At this time, after Zhang Zhong mentioned it, he felt as if he had seen something new, something very magical. After a quarter of an hour, Hikangji woke up from his various thoughts. He looked at Zhang Zhong with admiration and said, "Sir, I understand. As long as the notice says that when the roads are being built, more poultry or livestock will be used to let the commoners raise them, the commoners will believe it. After all, there is an example here in the mountains. There will be more people raising them, and they won't only keep them for their own families to eat. The chicks you catch will only take a few months to grow up. If they don't wait to lay eggs, they can be killed and eaten in more than 4 months. As for the pigs, we directly catch half of them and raise them. In less than 10 months, they will grow up in 6 or 7 months. When they are sold, the commoners will have spare money in their hands. They will want to buy things. This year's rent has been collected in advance. When the time comes, there will be more food and they won't have to worry about food. They had to buy other things, or save up for their children to choose a wife or build a house. As long as a portion of people were willing to spend money, there wouldn't be enough things here. Merchants would ship things here. And the docks would be more prosperous. And the taxes would be higher. I just thought about it. As long as we do this for 2 years, the yamen won't be short of money and the commoners' lives will be better. Sir, you are the real parent official. For the sake of the commoners, you actually took out money first. I don't know when you will be able to make up for it. Sir, if you are promoted in the future, let me He Lingwan follow you. I don't want to be a small official anymore. I will just follow you and help you copy documents. As Hikangji spoke, he made up his mind. In the future, he would follow Renbachian and see what else Renbachian could do. It was really amazing. In such a difficult time, as long as he took out the first sum of money and invested it, he could move the whole county. If every county magistrate of Huayuan County was not greedy and followed Lord Zhang's path, what would become of Huayuan County after 10 years? Zhang Zhong did not expect Hikangji to think so much. Although he was not completely right, it was not bad. Especially when Hikangji surrendered before Zhang Zhong asked him to put him in an important position. This saved him a lot of trouble. In the future, he would need someone to help him do things, so Hikangji was useful. Sir, do you think I am still lacking? Can't I follow you? Hikangji was full of hope. When he saw that the county magistrate did not speak, he asked anxiously. Zhang Zhong smiled at him and said, "Just follow me. Let's settle this Huayuan County first. In the future, you can follow me to other places. You will still be an official. If I am promoted, you will also be promoted. If I change departments, you will also be with me." Hikangji was happy at first, but later he was confused. Whether he could be promoted or which department he would be in did not seem to be decided by the county magistrate. Now the county magistrate could change his position. Could it be that he could go to the capital in the future? Zhang Zhong also knew this, but he was not afraid. He had a good son. If he said that he was the best in the state, then he was the best. If he said that he was the top scorer, then he was the top scorer. If he said that he was the county magistrate, then he was the county magistrate. The most surprising thing was that he could decide where he was going to be. It was as if the imperial court was his son's restaurant. Looking at Hikangji's puzzled eyes, Zhang Zhong laughed heartily. "Ha ha ha, Hikangji. You don't have to worry about this kind of thing. You will know in the future. As you said just now, you are still lacking. You need to learn more. If you don't understand, you can ask. The people's livelihood is a college examination. It is much more difficult than being the top scorer. Sir, you are right. It is difficult. But I feel that the top scorer is not easy. There is only one person in each field. Sir, you are still young, but you have already passed the examination. Sir, what should we do next?" When He Kangji heard the county magistrate say that he was lacking, he was not angry at all. Zhang Zhong used his hand to point at the road they had come from. The next step is to distribute the goods. The commoners can't work without good tools. I transferred some from the farmstead and earned some money while I was at it. He Kangji looked back. Sure enough, there was a fleet of carriages there. They must be carrying tools. He did not care where they were from or who made the money. He just wanted to see what this place would become in the future. It was fine as long as it could catch up with Sanshui County. There were many rich people who wanted to build houses there. Living there was comfortable. Master, last night, you sent someone back to the manor to deliver a letter. The family is ready and the things have been transported here. There is also a letter from Madam. Madam asked me to tell Master to quickly finish the construction of the house here and move the family here. Madam can help Master take care of trivial matters. A servant who followed them here handed a letter to Zhang Zhong and said to Zhang Zhong at the same time. Soon. If you work 24 hours a day without rest, the house will be finished in about 10 days. Lead the people over there to distribute the goods. Don't be in a hurry to go back tonight. Rest in the Jinlai building here. I still have something for you to do tomorrow. Zhang Zhong ordered again. He waved his hand and let the servant go. He Kangji watched and listened at the side. Seeing the county magistrate's servants dressed well and following the rules, he admired Zhang Zhong more and more. The commoners had already made their own choices and assigned the work to them. Those who did heavy work would naturally receive more wages. At this time, when they saw that the county magistrate had prepared people to work for them, they stood in line and came to receive their work. There weren't many people here today. Perhaps there would be more tomorrow. There weren't many outsiders either. Even if they joined, they couldn't stop them from working when they didn't have enough manpower. As long as the people were not forced to a certain extent, they were very obedient. Even if there were wild vegetables to fill their stomachs, they would not think of rebelling. Now that they had taken the tools, they immediately started to work. Originally, Zhang Zhong planned to start tomorrow. After more than 2 hours, the sky would gradually become dark. Looking at the people working there, Zhang Zhong realized that something was missing. He didn't ask anyone to prepare food, so he hurriedly asked someone to go back and get the ingredients so that they could cook here. The firewood was taken from the mountain. With the rake, they could get a lot of firewood to start the fire. Chapter 330. While the people at the foot of the mountain were busy, Registrar Zhan and Deputy County Magistrate Xiao were also busy at home. They were busy looking for something, and the seal was gone. Who saw my seal? Deputy County Magistrate Xiao kept repeating this sentence. No matter how hard he tried to recall, he could not remember where the seal was lost. It was still used at noon. How could it be gone in the blink of an eye? The servants at home were afraid that the master would vent his anger on them if they went over at this time, so they all hid and let Deputy County Magistrate Xiao struggle. The servant who accompanied him last night was also helping him. Seeing that the master was anxious, he advised, "Master, why don't you go to the yamen and tell the yamen runners and ask them to help you look for it? Or you can ask Registrar Zhan." "No, I can't go to the yamen. If the people in the yamen know that my seal is lost, they will definitely tell Zhang Zhong. I am afraid that Zhang Zhong will use this matter to make trouble. Let's go and ask Registrar Zhan first." Deputy County Magistrate Xiao did not have time to sleep at this time. He changed into casual clothes and went out to Registrar Zhan's house. He was worried that Zhang Zhong would need to report to the imperial court first after he knew that the seal was lost. Then he could only wait for the imperial court to issue another seal. This would waste a lot of time. Without the seal, there were some things that could not be done. If those merchants bought land and he did not have the seal, it would be easy for him to not get any benefits. When Deputy County Magistrate Xiao reached the door of Registrar Zhan's house, the door was suddenly opened from the inside. Registrar Zhan was also coming out. The two of them looked at each other and asked at the same time, "Did you see my seal?" "What? Your seal is also gone?" The two of them said at the same time again. "What should we do? Brother Byong, you have to think of a way. The seal is gone. We can only ask Zhang Zhong to report to the imperial court." If he gives the land away now, we will not get any benefits. We can't do anything bad to him. If we want to report to the imperial court, the imperial court will not recognize it if we don't have the seal. Registrar Jean was anxious now. He also thought of the issue of the land and asked Deputy County Magistrate Xiao to think of a way. Deputy County Magistrate Xiao didn't have any good ideas. He was also anxious. He paced back and forth in front of Mr. Jean's house. From time to time he would stop and say a few harsh words, saying what he would do after he found out who took the seal. While the two of them were fretting, the copywriter who used to have a good relationship with them came over and said, "Sirs, is it because you can't find the seal?" "What? How do you know? Did you take it?" Xin Yuan. To think that Registrar Jean and I have treated you so well. You actually took away our seals. Fine, tell us, what do you want? Deputy County Magistrate Xiao thought that Shen Yuan wanted to get some benefits from them by taking away their seals, so he asked angrily. Shen Wendan was stunned for a moment before he hurriedly explained. My lord, my two lords, how would I dare to take your seal? It was stolen by a person called Lu Yi. When the two lords came out of the restaurant after eating, he is now a bailiff and the two lords' seals are still in the signing room. Who is Lu Yi? Bailiff? Good, he dares to be a bailiff, see if I don't. Since the seal has been taken back, then let's leave it at that. Xin Yuan. To think that Registrar Jean and I have treated you so well. Thank you for telling us about this matter. Otherwise we would still be anxious. When Deputy County Magistrate Xiao heard that the matter of the seal had been settled, he originally wanted to take revenge. However, he suddenly changed his mind. After all, he had to go through Zhang to deal with a bailiff. He could only find an opportunity in the future. He had just criticized Xin Yuan, and now he praised him. Xin Yuan didn't dare to argue about the matter just now. His purpose of coming here was not just because of this. He smiled and said, My lord, it's good that you are not anxious. My lord, I have an idea. What do you think will happen if we steal the seal of the county magistrate? Didn't we help a person who specializes in stealing things before? He is now living in the county. Let's find him and let him steal the seal of the county magistrate. Then we can do more things and we don't have to worry about the county magistrate. What do you think, my lord? This is not appropriate, right? If someone finds out, the crime will not be small. If not, his head will fall to the ground. Why don't you go and arrange it? After the matter is done, you will be rewarded. If it fails, you can take the money and go far away. Deputy County Magistrate Xiao was really tempted, but he didn't want to do it himself, so he pushed it to Shen Yuan. Shen Yuan had done a lot of things with them, so he had no choice but to agree. Shen Yuan was stunned. He didn't expect that his idea would get him involved. Looking at the two people's eyes, he gritted his teeth and said, Okay, I will arrange for someone to find that cat burglar. Once he is found, I will let that person leave Huayuan County. But he can't leave without taking a single copper coin, right? I don't have that much money. Let's do this. Brother Shangyun, since it's in your house, you can take out 100 strings of coins and give it to that person. Take a few strings of coins and give the rest of the money. Deputy County Magistrate Xiao said to Registrar Jean. Registrar Jean had no choice but to agree. He turned around and took out 50 taels of silver and 2 strings of copper coins. He said, Silver is easier to spend. Copper coins are heavy if you take too much. We only have this much silver in the house. 50 taels is enough. We can even set up a small house outside. Shen Yuan wanted to keep a portion of the 100 strings of coins for himself, but he didn't expect Registrar Jean to only take 50 taels of silver. If it was given to the person who did the deed, it was not a small amount. After putting away the silver, he picked up the copper coins that weighed more than 10 kilograms and left with both of them. After Shen Yuan left, Registrar Jean and Deputy County Magistrate Xiao were no longer in the mood to sleep. Both of them went to the yamen together to take back their seals. After asking the yamen runners, they found out that Zhang Zhong had gone to the mountain. Both of them smiled sinisterly. They felt that they could teach Zhang Zhong a lesson soon. Zhang Zhong was still at the foot of the mountain doing business. How would he know that someone was plotting against him? In fact, even if he knew, he wouldn't be afraid. At this time, The sky was a little cloudy. Zhang Zhong looked at the sky and said to He Kangji, "It seems that it will be raining for the next 2 days. We need to get people to prepare some straw raincoats and bamboo hats. Buy them and let the people make them themselves. If they can make it, we will buy them for them to wear. Also, people who live far away can't travel back and forth. Set up some tents here. Tell the people at the docks to tell them that we need 500 tents that can accommodate 4 people. Let the merchants name their price. Whichever tents are good and cheap will be used. Forget it. Ask if there is anyone in the county who specializes in this, and let them hire people to do it. We will only give them 2 days, 500 tents." "I understand. I will arrange it now. They have to pay taxes when they sell tents. Hiring people can make more money for the people." At this time, He Kangji didn't need to be reminded to understand why the county magistrate changed his mind. He agreed and turned around to find someone to make the arrangements. The people who were working didn't know how much the county magistrate had thought for them, but the people who were waiting to cook were at the side. They finally understood how good the new county magistrate was to them. They whispered to each other, and all the topics revolved around the new county magistrate. Zhang Zhong also asked people to tell the people who were working that they couldn't have a safe place to sleep for the next 2 days. He asked them to hold on a little longer. They could light more bonfires to warm themselves. At night, they would be given more pancakes and bone soup. After doing this, Zhang Zhong thought for a while and said to the servants at home, "Go back and tell Cuckoo that I won't go back tonight. I will stay with the people. Let her read Arya by herself today. That's all for now." The servants knew. When they went back, they told the young master and young lady. But when they thought of this book, they felt a little scared. This book was all about explaining some words. It was so boring. Only the young master and young lady could read it. Night fell quickly. The clouds in the sky became denser. The stars and moon couldn't be seen. Bonfires were lit one by one. There were also curtains to block the rain. The rain hadn't fallen yet. Looking at the sky, it seemed like there was going to be a big one. The cooks had already prepared the food. There was only one rice dish, rice. There was only a stew dish with some meat and bones. There were also some wild vegetables from the mountain. Zhang Zhong asked people to bring the eggplants, but no one was willing to eat them. They dug the wild vegetables themselves. There were also some mushrooms that were added to the stew. The garlic sauce was also prepared. A big bucket was placed there. When it rained later, they would scoop it out and dip it into the fatty meat slices. The people were willing to endure hardships. Originally, Zhang Zhong wanted to let them eat when it was dark. In the end, none of the people ate. They lit torches and continued to work. They would eat when it rained. The appearance of the people made Zhang Zhong decide that he must build Huayuan County as soon as possible. Otherwise, he would let down the people in his official robes. After waiting for another 2 hours, the rain finally fell under Zhang Zhong's expectation. The people who were working finally stopped and came to eat. Those who were in charge of cooking quickly filled the bowls for those who were working. Zhang Zhong also came over with a bowl. Those who were filling the bowls did not dare to move. A servant of the Zhang family also came over and said, "Master, shall we eat something else? We'll eat this today. We usually eat too much other food. It's only one time. Let's eat more. I'm hungry too." Zhang Zhong held the bowl and said. He wanted to try the taste of the food. If it didn't work, he would ask someone to come over and teach him. A dish with meat should not be bad. He also added a lot of oil and seasonings. Zhang Zhong felt that his method was normal, but the people didn't think so. The people who served the rice were so moved that tears flowed down. They specially picked some fatty meat slices for the county magistrate. Zhang Zhong frowned. He didn't want to eat this. He wanted to eat some wild vegetables and mushrooms, but he couldn't refuse. Otherwise, what would the people think of him? Zhang Zhong's actions instantly closed the gap between the commoners. When the commoners saw that the county magistrate was also eating this and was enjoying it, they also ate happily. Today, they completely understood what kind of official the new county magistrate was. Chapter 331. In the mountains, pickaxes fell one after another. The sweating did not stop. Mud trucks came and went, and the rain poured down. It was just dawn, and the rain was still falling. It seemed to be getting heavier. The people put on the straw raincoats and bamboo hats that were sent to them, and hurriedly ate breakfast before throwing themselves back to work. Zhang Zhong, who had stayed with them all night, also got on the carriage and headed to the county office. Horses could not be ridden anymore. Zhang Zhong gained a lot from this night, and the people approved of him from the bottom of their hearts. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan also got up. The two of them really did read area yesterday. In fact, it was like reading a dictionary. After reading for 4 hours, their minds were muddled. The two of them ate tofu pudding. There were 3 long brocade boxes on the table, each with a ginseng in it. The long whiskers were as thick as a strand of hair at the bottom, but they were not broken. There was even a red string at the top. This was the ability of those merchants. Zhang Xiaobao did not know where they found these 300-year-old ginseng. Last night, in the middle of the night, in the rain, 3 ginseng. With 3 ginseng, Zhang Xiaobao could go out to play. 3? They don't want money. It seems that they want father to do something for them. All right, keep it. You must keep it. After a few hundred years, it will become a 1,000-year-old ginseng. Then our plan can begin. Zhang Xiaobao did not know how to read ginseng, so he was not sure if it was a 100-year-old ginseng. He thought that the merchants did not have the guts to cheat his father. He could not accept the ginseng for free. Otherwise, wouldn't it be bribery? Zhang Xiaobao decided to help the merchants think of a way to make money after they bought the land. I have never seen you calculate like this. What 1,000-year-old? It's a fossil. Let's go to Yushu village tomorrow. It's time to dig the coal there. Do you think there will be oil where there is coal? Wang Wan closed the 3 boxes and said to Zhang Xiaobao, how would I know? Even if there is oil, I don't know how to refine it. I'll be satisfied if I can burn coal in the winter. In a while, get someone to call my father back. We have to get back the money we invested as soon as possible. Invest more. It's best if we invest the money for the road as well. When that time comes, it'll be too late even if someone wants to object. Zhang Xiaobao finished the last mouthful of the bun, clapped his hands, and jumped down to find someone to call for his father. Because of the rain, Zhang Zhong took the bus back again. He set off from the mountain in the morning and arrived at his destination at noon. The wheels of the bus broke down twice on the way. Zhang Xiaobao was a little anxious while waiting. Those merchants were even more anxious than Zhang Xiaobao. They were waiting for the county magistrate to come back from a tea stall opposite the yamen. They drank tea from morning until noon. Once they saw the tea, they would feel salty and astringent in their mouths. They ate some snacks, but they didn't know whether they were full or hungry. The owner of the tea stall poked the middle of the shed with a stick to get rid of the rainwater on top of the shed. He brewed a new batch of tea and added some salt, ginger, and other things. He brought it to the merchants who were waiting here and said, "It's very wet outside. Why don't you come in and have a seat?" "No, we'll wait here." "Can't you not put so much in the tea? I don't know how it tastes in my mouth." "Go to the docks and have a look. There are only tea leaves and water. It's much better than this tea." A merchant said this for the 4th time. Ever since they drank tea at the docks, they didn't want to drink this tea anymore. Unfortunately, the docks didn't sell tea leaves, only tea water. It was very expensive, and they didn't know where it came from. He didn't know, but the owner of the tea shop knew. This time he explained, "Everyone, it's not that I don't want to sell that kind of tea leaves. I've also tasted it. The taste is indeed different from this tea. But that tea was made by Zhangjia Zhuangzi and sold to the docks. I don't know how to make it. There are many kinds of tea dumplings and tea cakes in my shop. Even if you don't put the salt and directly soak them in water, the taste won't be the same. If you can find the recipe, I'm willing to pay 500 strings of coins. Don't even think about it. With the recipe, I won't sell it even if it's 50,000 strings of coins. I'll open my own tea stall." The merchant replied. At this time, a person beside him stood up and looked towards the east. His face showed a happy expression and said, "Don't worry about the tea. The county magistrate is back." Everyone turned their heads and looked. Sure enough, the county magistrate's carriage appeared in the rain. Several merchants didn't care about the rain outside and rushed out. The last person threw down the tea money and ran while shouting, "Wait for me, wait for me." Zhang Zhong stopped at Jinlai Tower before coming over. He knew that someone had sent the ginseng and could proceed to the next step. "Sir, you're back? How's your son?" A merchant rushed to the side of the carriage and asked with concern. In fact, he was reminding Zhang Zhong that the ginseng had been sent. Zhang Zhong lifted the curtain and said to this person, "Yes, I just went to see him. He has already woken up. The medicine last night was really good. Did you send the ginseng? Tell me, what do you want?" "My lord, I want the recipe for that tea." The merchant suddenly changed the topic they had agreed on before. "Oh, the recipe of the tea? That can't be done. It doesn't belong to my family. It belongs to the Wang family. How about I send you some tea?" 50 kilograms. What do you think? Of course, Zhang Zhong wouldn't give him the recipe. The tea was not only for money, but also as a gift. When the merchant heard that he only wanted to send tea, 50 kilograms was indeed a lot, but it would be used up one day. Moreover, there was also some tea at the dock. He shook his head and said, "Sir, then we want to change it. We want to buy a piece of land near the dock. What do you think?" "Oh, that's easy. Buy a piece of land? Is it a piece of land without an owner?" Zhang Zhong asked deliberately. At this time, the carriage had already arrived at the entrance of the government office. Someone held an umbrella for them. Zhang Zhong got out of the carriage and motioned for the merchants to go in and discuss with him. At this time, a fast horse galloped from the side. A person wearing a bamboo hat and a straw raincoat was walking on the road. It seemed that he didn't hear the sound of the horse's hooves. The people around him immediately shouted at this person. Seeing that the horse was only a few zhang away from the man finally reacted. Shocked, he suddenly jumped to the side and bumped into Zhang Zhong. Only then did the guards of the prince's mansion come to their senses and protect Zhang Zhong. When they got off the carriage just now, Zhang Zhong was surrounded by merchants. The guards had been outside the carriage the whole time. In a moment of desperation, the man rushed quickly and didn't have time to block them. Seeing that Zhang Zhong was fine and that person was not an assassin, they were relieved. They secretly decided to protect him more closely in the future. Otherwise, if the little prince found out, it would be troublesome. "How is it? Are you hurt?" Zhang Zhong asked the person who was almost trampled by the horse. "No, I'm not hurt. I'm just scared." "Sir, you do your thing. Don't worry about me." The person seemed to be frightened and said with a trembling voice, "Why don't you rest in the government office?" Zhang Zhong saw that the person was fine and invited him. The person shook his head so hard that the water on his bamboo hat splashed onto Zhang Zhong's face. After saying this, he lowered his head and left in a hurry. Zhang Zhong didn't care. He took the person into a room in the government office and asked someone to bring tea. He sat there and repeated what he had just said. The leader of the merchants said honestly, "Sir, there is a field over there. It's owned, but we can buy it. He will agree if we give him more money. But there is a field over there. Sir, do you think we can buy it for other things? Here is what we will do in the future. Ernie has already told us." As the merchant spoke, he took out a lot of envelopes and put them on the table. It was the proposal that Zhang Zhong asked them to write. Zhang Zhong casually took out one of the envelopes and looked at it. He nodded and said, "This is not bad. But there is a field over there. You will have to pay more money. Are you willing to do that?" "Yes, yes, we are willing." The merchant thought that the penalty would not be too high. A field used to grow rice would only produce once a year. A few strings of coins per mu was not a small amount. It was a few times more than the cost of growing rice. Zhang Zhong nodded again. "It's good that you are willing. We will see what is suitable for growing in that field. We will pay according to the price. We will pay once a year. But this matter is not decided by me alone. The Registrar General and the Deputy County Magistrate also have to agree." "Agreed, sir. Registrar General Zhan and Deputy County Magistrate Xiao have agreed. They told us about it the night before yesterday. You said that the two of them agreed. Do you think they will agree just because they agreed? They have not come to me before. How about this? Let them come to me and I will ask. If they really agree, you will take over the land. Do you know that there is a difference in the local tax? Zhang Zhong said with a look of disbelief. We know. The tax will be higher. We will pay. We are willing to pay. County Magistrate, we will go to the Deputy County Magistrate and the Registrar General now. We will let them talk to you then. Is that okay? The merchants knew that the tax was high, but they could earn more. Seeing that the matter was settled, they agreed immediately. They were afraid that the county magistrate would change his mind, so they went to look for Registrar General Zhang and Deputy County Magistrate Xiao. Both of them were exhausted. Zhang Zhong was not back, so they could only help to solve some cases. Usually they could solve cases according to their preferences. But today they could not. There were still bailiffs and the Deputy County Magistrate at the side. Both of them had no choice but to solve the case seriously. It was not a big matter, but just a small matter. But they had to solve it. Luckily, they had hired many bailiffs. For example, whose house was washed away by water, whose chicken was lost, who took over whose land, etc. It was good to have bailiffs. They could continuously send them out to solve the case. Just now when the rain was heavy, there were fewer people. They took some time to rest, and the merchants came to look for them. Registrar General Zhang, Deputy County Magistrate Xiao, the county magistrate has agreed. I would like to ask for your opinion. The esteemed person found the two of them. As he spoke, he gave them 10,000 strings of coins, 5,000 strings of coins each. With the money, they could exchange it for real money or silk. Chapter 332. County Magistrate Zhang. I heard that you agreed to let those businessmen buy the fertile land? County Deputy Xiao and Registrar Zhang came to Zhang Zhong because of the 5,000 strings of cash. Zhang Zhong naturally wouldn't say whether he agreed or not. Instead, he asked, do you think that the fertile land should be sold? The two paused and exchanged glances. Registrar Zhang spoke first. County Magistrate Zhang, I don't see any fertile land there. It's clearly a wasteland. Leaving it there won't produce any crops. Why not sell it? Who said that it's a wasteland? Just now, those businessmen also admitted that it's a fertile land. They are willing to pay a fine every year according to the amount of crops that can be grown in the field. Registrar Zhang, don't tell me that you can't even differentiate between fertile land and wasteland? Zhang Zhong didn't follow Registrar Zhang's words. He rebuked and reprimanded him. Registrar Zhang didn't expect that those businessmen were willing to pay the money now. He thought that it was like what they had agreed on. In that case, Zhang Zhong could decide by himself. Why did he need to ask the two of them? County Deputy Xiao was also puzzled. He wanted to guess what Zhang Zhong was thinking, but he couldn't. He could only cough softly and said, County Magistrate Zhang, since it's like this, then sell it. You can also collect more taxes. When the time comes, you can make up for the money you paid. When County Deputy Xiao talked about the money, he realized that Zhang Zhong wanted to get back the money. Although the money from selling the land and the fine couldn't be compared to what Zhang Zhong paid, at least they could get back some of it. At this time, Zhang Zhong said, since everyone has agreed, then write a written agreement. When the higher-ups pursue the matter, we can also advance and retreat together. When they find the owner of the field, spend money to buy it and let them do their own thing. Lord Zhang is straightforward. We will write it now. Registrar Zhang didn't expect Zhang Zhong to be so straightforward. He even changed the way he addressed him after getting the 5,000 strings of cash. Deputy Xiao didn't have much to say and agreed. The three of them each had a copy of the written documents. When the case was investigated, the three of them had to bear the responsibility together. After talking about this matter, Registrar Zhang and District Deputy Xiao thought of the land on the other side of the mountain. There was no one there, and it belonged to the government. Both of them wanted to buy it first and build a shop as soon as possible. They didn't know what kind of shop to open, and would think about it in the future. They didn't expect Zhang Zhong to bring it up before they could say anything. There's one more thing. It's about the mountain. The land on the mountain, and at the foot of the mountain is like this. I want to rent out the land on the mountain, for example, to build a pavilion. If people do business in the pavilion, they will have to take some money. What do you think? Good. County Magistrate Zhang is right. There will be more and more people there in the future. Naturally, we will have to rent it. What about the land at the foot of the mountain? County Magistrate Xiao really admired Zhang Zhong's thinking now. He even thought about this. Zhang Zhong knew what both of them were thinking. Anyone who knew about that place would try to occupy it. Just now, when he was waiting for the Registrar Zhan and District Deputy Xiao, the nephew of the former Minister of Revenue, Bai Go, had sent someone over to talk about it. It was a pity that although the place was good, he couldn't give it to his nephew. Not to mention him. Even his own house couldn't occupy it. That was the place where Sun Simiao used to live. There were even going to be tombstones there. How many medical doctors were studying there? How many doctors and apprentices were yearning for it? His son had said that the place would be very prosperous in the future. There would be countless people coming and going. There was also going to be a Taoist temple there. No one could monopolize this kind of place with humanistic thoughts. It was like a pilgrimage. They could only give up the benefits and return the income to the county. The only thing they could occupy was the water bubble there. In the future, they could make it into a lake. It was connected to the river not far from there. They could have some ideas on it. As for the mountain, they could give it to the people in the imperial court, including the emperor. Zhang Zhong knew what his son meant. He wanted to sell the land to the two of them very cheaply. At that time, the two of them would be unlucky. But it would take a long time. How much money could the two of them have? Losing 2,000 or 3,000 strings of coins was enough to make them go crazy. How much money could the businessmen give them? How could they build the place quickly with that little money? It wasn't their own house. They didn't care about thousands of strings of coins at all. Just the title of Zhuangyuan cost them more than 100,000 strings of coins. Of course, this was impossible. His son and daughter-in-law were full of such things. Lord Zhang, say something. Just as Zhang Zhong was thinking about something, Registrar Zhan couldn't hold it in any longer and approached him to ask. Zhang Zhong came out of his thoughts and said, I know what the two of you mean, but that place can't be given to the two of you. He's like this. Zhang Zhong said part of what he was thinking about just now. He didn't say the part where he made money. The two of them broke out in a cold sweat. They didn't expect there to be so many things, but they couldn't figure out why Zhang Zhong didn't take this opportunity to harm the two of them. At that time, no one could save the two of them. Sir, what are you? Even if Registrar Zhan had always wanted to get rid of Zhang Zhong, he couldn't help but admire Zhang Zhong's magnanimity. He clearly had the opportunity to harm the two of them, but he didn't. Instead, he said it. Zhang Zhong didn't answer him. Instead, he said, here's what I'm thinking. The government office will pay for the construction of shops there. When the time comes, we'll rent them out and rent them again every 3 years. Whoever pays the highest price will be able to rent it. Whoever has the most ability will be able to rent it. When the time comes, everyone will do business together. Even if I'm no longer the county magistrate, the new county magistrate won't dare to have any ideas about that place. There's no money in the account now. I can pay for it. When the Yamen has the money, they will give it to me. In the future, when they rent it for 3 years, the minimum price for each shop will be 1,700 strings of coins. As for the bigger shops, the price will be higher. If the two of you are willing to rent them, I can rent a few rooms to you first. You don't have to compete with others for this. My family is also planning to build a few. As for the other people in the Yamen, as long as they can afford it and don't rent it for others, they can be set aside first. As for those shops, whoever rents them can run them for 3 years. During these 3 years, they can't rent them out. This is to prevent the price from being too high. If the people who come can't afford it, then the place will be wasted. Registrar Zhan and Deputy County Magistrate Xiao listened to Zhang Zhong's words. They were speechless for a long time. They really couldn't understand what benefits Zhang Zhong's family would get from doing this. They could even give up such a big benefit. It seemed that everything was for the sake of the people of Huayuan. This kind of thing was impossible for the two of them. If they didn't take the opportunity to make more money, what was the use of being a good official? Was this the difference between the rich and the poor? That's right. The Zhang family didn't have to work hard to make money. They opened their own businesses, but they couldn't. They had only made some money in the past few years. Registrar Jean was a little shaken. He didn't want to continue to deal with Zhang Zhong. He looked at Deputy County Magistrate Xiao. He was suppressed by Zhang Zhong's magnanimity and his dignity of wholeheartedly serving the people. He felt that Zhang Zhong was a gentleman and he was a villain. Deputy County Magistrate Xiao was also thinking about it. However, he didn't feel that there was a difference between a gentleman and a villain. He just wanted to live a better life. He wanted to be above others. What he thought was, didn't the current emperor get the position after the Xuanwu Gate? Thinking of this, he made a decision. County Magistrate Zhang, since this is the case, let's write another document. He wanted Zhang Zhong to take out more money. Anyway, the Yamen couldn't have money immediately unless those businessmen were willing to give Zhang Zhong money. Now it seemed that they wouldn't. The Zhang family was rich and had given him ginseng. Zhang Zhong nodded and said, "Okay, let's write it." The two of them wrote the document as fast as they could and pressed their own seals on it. Zhang Zhong reached into his pocket to take the seal. When he touched it, his face suddenly changed. There was no seal in his pocket. Where did it go? Well, that matter hasn't been settled yet. Let me go back and think about it. That's all for today. When the businessmen buy other people's land, we can do business there. Zhang Zhong took out his hand from his pocket and said to Registrar Jean and Deputy County Magistrate Xiao. Both of them were stunned. Seeing that Zhang Zhong didn't want to say anything else, they could only leave. Brother Biang, are we still going to deal with Zhang Zhong? He helped us today. Otherwise, if we really bought that land, we might even lose our lives. Registrar Jean said to Deputy County Magistrate Xiao after walking out of the door and dozens of steps. What? Are you afraid of him? Don't think that I don't know that he didn't say those words for us. He was afraid that we would be delayed for too long. If he really wanted to harm us, he would have to wait for us to fix that place first and for him to bring a lot of people over. When would that happen? He can't wait. He wants to bribe us and make us listen to him. Both of us are older than him. His family is just a little rich. If he wants us to listen to him, he can dream on. After this year, you will be 30 years old. Are you willing to be his assistant? Deputy County Magistrate Xiao obviously thought differently from Registrar Jean. He was used to being domineering. Even when County Magistrate Wen was here, his words had a certain effect. County Magistrate Wen just wanted to discuss with him. Registrar Jean didn't have much of an opinion. When he heard Deputy County Magistrate Zhao's words, he immediately explained. No, I don't think so. I just think that it's too difficult to defeat him. Let's give him a boost and let him get promoted. At that time, won't we have the final say in Huayuan County? Dream on. At that time, Huayuan County will be like Sanshui County. The one with the surname Cheng left, and the one with the surname Jia came immediately. We can't let him do his job well. Otherwise, we won't have another chance. Let him get promoted? Why don't we get promoted? Even if he gets promoted, he will still have a higher position than us. Deputy County Magistrate Xiao said angrily. He was afraid that the people around him wouldn't continue to do things with him. My lord, my two lords, you are here. Look, what have I brought? Suddenly, a person ran in front of them. It was Shen Yuan. When he arrived in front of them, he put his hand into his other sleeve. Chapter 333. Registrar Jean and Deputy County Magistrate Xiao looked at Shen Yuan in confusion. When Shen Yuan took out a piece of the seal from his sleeve and saw a touch of yellow light, they finally understood what it was. Put it away. Don't talk. Let's go. Deputy County Magistrate Xiao pushed Shen Yuan's hand and let him put the seal back into his sleeve. The three of them hurriedly came to a place where there was no one, and then they felt relieved. Shen Yuan took out the seal again. The two of them hurriedly looked at the words, Seal of Huayuan County Magistrate, on it and quickly let Shen Yuan put it away. Shen Yuan, have you arranged for the two people over there? Deputy County Magistrate Xiao asked cautiously. Yes, the two of them left together. The person who delivered the seal told me that after this matter, he didn't owe us anything anymore. He was alone and wouldn't come back in the future. He also told us not to think of ways to find him. Shen Yuan had an indescribable feeling of excitement. He found this matter was so exciting that he stole the seal of the county magistrate. Deputy County Magistrate Xiao finally felt relieved and said, "No one will find him in the future. You keep the seal well. It's better to hide it in a place where no one knows." "Humph. Let's see how he can carry out the government order this time." Registrar Zhang's expression changed and he also said, "When the businessmen buy that place and come here to exchange the deed, Zhang Zhong won't be able to do anything. Of course, people like us can report to the higher-ups if we lose the seal. The higher-ups won't care about people like us. But if a county magistrate loses the seal, he might lose his official position." Shen Yuan felt that he had done an earth-shattering thing, so he also said happily, "Hurry up and let those businessmen talk about the matter of buying the land." Deputy County Magistrate Xiao felt that he couldn't control himself and wanted to shout. Now he knew why Zhang Zhong had changed his mind when he went to take out the seal. The seal was gone. A county magistrate had actually lost his seal. How capable was he? Could he do anything for the people? That was when there was a seal. Now let's see who can save you. The three of them returned to the front with similar, but slightly different feelings. They still had to continue to solve the case in the afternoon. This was not Sanshui County. Everyone in the Yamen could only stroll outside and chat with the people. There were still many things to deal with in Huayuan County. However, Deputy County Magistrate Xiao no longer felt unhappy about helping the county magistrate deal with these things. He had already regarded himself as the county magistrate now. Many things in Huayuan County had not been completed yet. Now that Zhang Zhong had stepped down, it was natural for him to take over as the county magistrate of this county. Zhang Zhong was very anxious now. How could the seal be gone? He called the guards of the prince's mansion to ask them. After some analysis, they finally figured out when the official seal was lost. It was the person who was startled by the horse and stole the seal the moment the horse bumped into him. Zhang Zhong wanted to seal the whole county and only allow people to enter, but not leave. He also wanted to check everyone's body. However, he knew that it was impossible. Once he did that, everyone would know that he had lost the seal. That would be the end of him. Besides, if that person hid himself, where could he find him? Huayuan County was so big that there were not so many people. After thinking about it, Zhang Zhong had to send out 18 of the 20 guards of the prince's mansion. He asked them to think about what the person who bumped into him looked like. They would ride around and look for him. If they found him, they would catch him. Although he knew that there was little hope, he had to put his last hope on it. When the 18 guards left, County Deputy Xiao and the others also knew about it. They were secretly happy. The businessmen were also urged by them to hurry up and buy land. This was a small matter, and they did not need the official seal of the county magistrate. This made County Deputy Xiao slightly disappointed. The sky gradually darkened. Zhang Zhong looked at the drenched guards and asked. Everyone shook their heads. "Go back to Jinlai restaurant." Zhang Zhong had no other choice. He called out and walked out. When he walked to the door, he saw Registrar Zhan, County Deputy Xiao and Shen Wendy were also preparing to leave. The three of them looked very happy. It seemed that they were going to have a gathering outside. "County Magistrate, you are going too? Why don't the four of us go and have a meal together?" County Deputy Xiao saw Zhang Zhong and changed the way he addressed Zhang Zhong. He was so confident that he could win. He said to Zhang Zhong with a smile of exultation, "No, I have to go and see my son." Zhang Zhong was not in the mood to chat with them. After saying a few words, he quickly got on the carriage and left. "Humph. Let's see how long you can be the county magistrate." Bah. County Deputy Xiao looked at the carriage that he could not get on now and spat fiercely. On the way, Zhang Zhong was in a trance. He really did not know what to do. What would happen if he lost his official seal? After a while, the carriage finally entered the courtyard where Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan stayed. Zhang Zhong walked out of the carriage as if he had lost his soul. He walked into the house of his son and daughter-in-law. The moment he entered the house, he smelled a fragrance. Unfortunately, he was not in the mood to eat. He went to the study and found no one. He went to the bedroom and found no one. He went to the side hall and found no one. He smelled the fragrance and went directly to the kitchen. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan were busy there. They were steaming something in the pot in the kitchen. The two of them were also pouring soup into the steamed buns. The two of them were chatting while they were cooking. Xiaobao, it's too troublesome to do this. Why don't you put in frozen stuffing? Other people use crab stuffing. Do you think the shrimp stuffing is delicious? I don't care about that kind of cooking method. Let's make the best ones. At this time, the shrimp stuffing is the most fragrant. If you don't taste it carefully, the taste is actually the same. When my father comes back, I have to teach him how to eat it. Otherwise it will burn his mouth. Who says it's the same? There is someone. Wang Wan was talking when the two of them turned around at the same time. The sound of steam in the pot and the comfortable environment here affected their perception of the outside. At the same time, Zhang Zhong did not have any malicious intentions. Otherwise, the two of them would have discovered it earlier. Father, you are back? You haven't eaten yet, right? I made a new dish for you, soup dumplings. It's delicious. You can try it later. Father, what's wrong with you? When Zhang Xiaobao saw that his father had come, he said happily. Suddenly, he found that his father's expression was a little strange. No, nothing. I will try Xiaobao and Cuckoo's cooking in a while. You go ahead with your work. Zhang Zhong's mood was better at this time. Looking at the two children busily making food for him, he felt that no matter how difficult the days were, he would be able to persevere. Whose family's children could make such delicious food at such a young age? He had never seen such a thing before. So what if he lost his official seal? With his identity as the top scorer, he would not be beheaded. In addition, he had offered something. Even the emperor had to think about it carefully. At worst, he would quit being the county magistrate and go back to Sanshui County. So what if he was the county magistrate? He still had to listen to his family. It was not too difficult to find a chance to start again in the future. Well, let's eat first. Let's taste the food made by my son and daughter-in-law. Thinking of this, Zhang Zhong's mood was much better. He turned around and went to the dining room, waiting for the soup dumplings to be ready. Wang Wan and Zhang Xiaobao continued to cook, waiting for the soup to be poured in. When the pot was ready, Zhang Xiaobao began to stir-fry. He had a very small pan with a flat bottom. He put the things cut with a small kitchen knife into it to stir-fry. Wang Wan was watching the pan. After busying for half an hour, the soup dumplings were ready. Zhang Xiaobao also made two dishes. One was stir-fried shredded beef with coriander, and the other was stir-fried prawns. The two dishes were made at the same time. The beef had been blanched with water first, and the two dishes were served one after another. Zhang Xiaobao put the dishes on the tray and held it with one hand. Wang Wan used a bamboo clip to pick up the soup dumplings one by one on the plate with vegetable leaves. The two people came to the dining room one after another. Father Zhang was sitting there. He had already thought it through. He would report this matter directly to the capital and not ask for help. He believed that there would be people in the capital who would help. If it really didn't work, he would go back home. As for the death penalty or exile, it was impossible for him. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan put the soup dumplings and vegetables on the table and sat together opposite Zhang Zhong. Father, try the soup dumplings made by your son. Father, when you eat the soup dumplings, you have to first make a small bite of the soup dumplings, and then... Forget it, father, let's put it this way. The soup in the soup dumplings is very hot, and there is a lot of soup. Be careful when you eat it. Don't burn it. Zhang Xiaobao wanted to tell his father how to eat the soup dumplings, but after saying a few words, he felt that it was unnecessary. Wasn't it just too hot? He just had to be careful. Hearing this, Zhang Zhong picked up a steamed bun and placed it on the plate. He carefully made a small bite of the steamed bun with his chopsticks, looked inside, and blew on it again. A burst of hot steam rose up, and he nodded. It was indeed hot, so he made the bite bigger and blew on it again. Only then did he put his mouth on it and suck it. Sure enough, there was a lot of soup. His son and daughter-in-law had just poured it in. After drinking the soup, he stuffed the steamed bun into his mouth and slowly chewed it. When he swallowed it, Zhang Zhong exhaled. Father, is it edible? Zhang Xiaobao asked as he picked up a shrimp and placed it on his father's plate. Yes, it's delicious. It's even better than the frozen dumplings. Zhang Zhong was not praising it because of his son's cooking. It was indeed delicious. He had never eaten it before. The dumplings were made with hot noodles, while the steamed bun was made with dough. The taste was different. Zhang Xiaobao laughed happily. Father, if you like to eat more. There is a pot in the kitchen. It's enough. In 2 days, your son will make a small vegetable box and cat ear soup for you. Oh right, there is also wine. I'll go get some. Zhang Xiaobao said as he jumped off the chair, ran to another room, and came back with a jar. Zhang Zhong had no worries at this time. He picked up the wine bowl and drank a mouthful. He looked at his son and daughter-in-law with a gratified smile. Chapter 334. Zhang Zhong's chopsticks and prawns fell on the table at the same time. He stared at his son and asked, Xiaobao, how did you know? Zhang Xiaobao looked at Wang Wan, and Wang Wan also looked back. The two of them showed an expression of as expected. Wang Wan jumped down and took back a pair of chopsticks. Zhang Xiaobao also peeled off the shell of a prawn and put the meat on his father's plate. Then he said to his father, who was in a daze, Father, I was just guessing. Think about it. What can make you worry? Zhang Kaijin and Xiao Qi, those two idiots, are not worth your trouble. We don't lack money. Little Luoshui still has between the clouds and the water. We are making money every day. Plus, we have other businesses. It won't take much effort to get tens of thousands of strings of coins. You don't have to worry about the officialdom. In the capital, we have taken care of all the people who should be taken care of. Money, tea leaves, fungus, and so on. If there is any trouble, even if they don't help, they should at least send a message. You are good to my mother, and it can't be because of other women. You pity the people, and we are doing something to help them. After thinking about it, other than losing the official seal, there is no other reason. It must have been stolen by those two people. Father, to be honest, I really don't like this kind of method. Did someone suddenly bump into you and you don't know what happened? Are you waiting for the seal to disappear? Zhang Xiaobao said. If Zhang Zhongxin's chopsticks were not in his mouth, they would have fallen again. He was dumbfounded. It was as if his son had seen it with his own eyes. Father, don't keep thinking about the seal. Let's eat. Forget it, I'll give you the seal first. Zhang Xiaobao put down his chopsticks, jumped to the ground and ran again. After a while, he came back with the seal in his hands and tiptoed to put it on the table in front of his father. He sat back down on the chair and said to his father, Father, this is the real one. Don't lose it again. If you lose it again, we'll have to use a fake one. I borrowed a seal from you that day and made 2 fake ones when I got back. One is for you to carry with you at all times, and the other is placed somewhere else. This one has really been kept under cuckoo in your son's couch all this time. Father, let's eat. This method is really too old-fashioned. Your son originally thought that it was superfluous, but I didn't expect that someone would actually use it. Zhang Zhong put down his chopsticks and picked up the seal. Looking at the words Huayuan County Magistrate's seal, he was stunned again. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan continued eating. It wouldn't taste good when it got cold. After waiting for about half a quarter of an hour, Zhang Zhong finally came back to his senses. He slammed the official seal on the table and laughed. Ha 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 ha. Who can compare with me? Who could? I have a good son. It's just a small trick. My son doesn't like it at all. Ha 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 ha, let's eat. Today's steamed buns are really delicious. Zhang Zhong was very happy. When he got the official seal that day, his son borrowed it for one night. He thought that his son was really curious, but who knew that his son actually made a fake one? He thought that the seal had already been prepared, and the only thing left was to engrave the words. It was nothing more than preparing for a rainy day and anticipating the enemy first. Looking at his son and daughter-in-law's indifferent appearance when they were eating, he felt that this was the real demeanor of a general. After being busy for a while, those who should be worried were worried, and those who should be laughing were laughing. Those people actually brought back a fake seal. The real seal and the fake seal were the same, but they were made in batches, so there was still a difference. When the time came, whoever took out the fake seal would have to wait for bad luck. Zhang Zhong was in a good mood. He didn't want to praise his son anymore. He picked up a soup dumpling and threw it into his mouth, not caring if it was hot or not. He exhaled as he chewed. Father, why don't you put the real seal in the hands of the guards and take the fake seal out? Tonight you still have to go to that mountain. You can sleep there at night and come back in the morning. Leave the work to the two of them. You have won the hearts of the people, and they will suffer. In the future, you can come back at night to eat something. When you reach there, you can take a nap. Wake up in the middle of the night and have supper with them. You can sleep after eating. Tomorrow, I will go with Cuckoo to walk around. We have to choose a good place for the lake. After a few days, the dock will be able to build boats. I will ask them to build a few boats for pleasure. When the lake is ready, we can put them in the lake. On the other side of the mountain, we can build a road that connects to the lake. Our family can also earn more money. Father, don't you think so? Seeing that his father was happy, Zhang Xiaobao began to talk about the next step. Wang Wan listened and gave Zhang Xiaobao a smile. When Zhang Xiaobao said to make a fake seal, she didn't think it was necessary. Now she knew that Zhang Xiaobao had thought of everything that could happen. His plan was almost perfect. If there was a little flaw, it would be the sublimation of art. Others would feel proud when they came up with a plan, but Zhang Xiaobao had already returned everything to normal. This was the style of a person who was wanted by countless countries. His existence was a legend. Zhang Zhong didn't think as much as Wang Wan. He didn't know his son's past. He only knew that it would be difficult for the Zhang family not to become a big family in the future. He couldn't imagine what the Zhang family would be like in the future. He stuffed another steamed bun into his mouth. Looking at the official seal on the table, he swallowed the steamed bun and said, Xiaobao Cuckoo, I can't teach you for a few days. Take a good look at area. If you can memorize it, try your best. After a while, I will leave. Let the guard take the real seal. I will take the fake one. Father, don't worry. We will take good care of ourselves. Don't forget to come over for dinner tonight. I promise that you will eat different things for a month. If there are enough materials, you can eat different things for a year. Zhang Xiaobao liked to see his family happy, so he came with his father and resolved all possible crises in advance. Zhang Zhong couldn't tell what his mood was at this time. It was just like when he lost the seal. It was like a dream. He picked up a piece of beef, ate it, and said, Well, I will come back every night to eat the food cooked by my son and daughter-in-law. Be careful. Don't burn it. The three of them ate a pot and a half of soup dumplings. Zhang Zhong ate the most. He ate one after another and drank 2 bowls of wine. He left his son's place a little shakily. Before leaving, he didn't forget to touch his son's head. At this time, the guards had just finished eating and thought that they didn't have to go out. However, Zhang Zhong found them and handed an official seal to the leader of the 20 guards. He said, Take it. This is the real one. I have a fake one in my arms. Come, ride with me to the mountain to have a look. The leader of the guards took the official seal in a daze. He opened his mouth and wanted to say something, but in the end he didn't say anything. He actually wanted to ask if the one he lost was also a fake one. He weighed the seal in his hand and said, Sir, don't worry. Even if I have a breath left, I won't lose the real seal. Brothers, get on the horses. It was still raining outside. Zhang Zhong didn't care. He was in a good mood now and didn't care about the weather at all. He got on the horse and galloped towards the mountain under the protection of the guards. Those merchants had already listened to County Deputy Xiao and Registrar Zhan. They went to find the owner of the land. The owner didn't know the value of the land. After the merchants offered him 30 strings of coins per mu, he agreed happily. The merchants sent someone to the county town to report that night. Registrar Zhan, County Deputy Xiao, and Shen Wendian were still awake. The three of them found a small shop and ate and drank inside. In order not to eat yesterday's food, Shen Wendian went in first to order the dishes. Registrar Zhan and County Deputy Xiao went in after the dishes were served. The three of them ate and drank in the shop while waiting for the news from the merchants. Well, from now on this place won't be Zhang Zhong's world. Wait for me to get promoted. At that time, you won't be short of benefits. County Deputy Xiao, who drank too much, said loudly. There were only 6 diners left. Hearing his words, they couldn't help but frown. It seemed that the new county magistrate was going to be unlucky. In the past, they didn't care about this. But this time it was different. The new county magistrate was a good official who was willing to make decisions for the people. If he really quit and let the original registrar take over, Huayuan County wouldn't be able to have a good life. The 6 of them still remembered how Registrar Zhang, County Magistrate Xiao, and those people in the government office treated them when the person surnamed one was the county magistrate. When the 6 of them were frowning, Registrar Zhang seemed to be unwilling to do so. He said to County Deputy Xiao, "Brother Byong, we lost our seals. The county magistrate didn't say that he wouldn't give it to us. So what we do now is not good. After all, we need to rely on him to make a fortune in the future." "What's not good about it? What's not good about it? You can say it louder. I can't hear you. Make a fortune? Do we still need him to make a fortune? I can do it. I know. Isn't it just fixing the mountain and sending people to the capital city to say how good this place is? It's simple. After I become the county magistrate, I'll send people over. Brother Shangyun, you can't hesitate at this time. You can easily get yourself into trouble. Listen to me. When you understand, let's see what ability Zhang Zhong has. He dared to make us lose our money. Don't you want to take revenge? Don't think that he can make Huayuan County good. In fact, it's all fake. I can do it without him. I know it. I just didn't have this opportunity before. Give me a chance, and I can do better than others. Wen is not a surname, and Zhang is not a surname either. County Deputy Xiao said. He held the bowl, and some wine spilled from time to time. He didn't seem to notice it. With a special smile on his face, he put the bowl to his mouth and drank. Most of the wine flowed into his clothes. A small part went into his mouth, and some went into his nostrils. He choked and covered his head. Chapter 335. Zhang Zhong rode his horse in the heavy rain. When he arrived at the foot of the mountain, he found that the people had not eaten and were still working. It was so dark that he couldn't see the situation there clearly. "The Lord is here, the Lord is here." A sharp-eyed child shouted, and other people also found the county magistrate coming through the rain. Zhang Zhong dismounted and wiped the rain on his face with his hand. He looked at the people under the shed. At this time, there were not only people working, but also some children with their families. Some of them gathered together and looked at him with curious eyes. "Where is the person in charge? What's going on? It's so dark, why aren't you eating? Why are you working?" Zhang Zhong shouted loudly as he saw the flickering figures under the shelter. Immediately, a person in charge ran over and said respectfully, "County Magistrate, everyone is not tired and wants to work more. Don't worry, we didn't go up the mountain at night. In the afternoon, someone gave an idea to let everyone just dig before dark and only transport at night. It's easier to transport the soil than to dig, and it can be transported even if you can't see." Who gave the idea? Zhang Zhong didn't expect that the people in the county could use this method to work. "It's Brother Pan. Come here, Brother Pan. The Lord wants to see you." The person in charge shouted to the crowd, and a 12 or 13-year-old girl squeezed out. She didn't know what was rubbed on her face, but there were streaks on her face. She was wearing a pair of straw sandals. The front part of the sandals was open, revealing her big toe. Her pants were shorter and were patched up like her clothes. In her arms was a naked 2-year-old child. The child grabbed the clothes around the girl's neck with one hand and waved the other hand curiously with a half-clenched fist. "Brother Pan, come here. Lord, this is Brother Pan who gave the idea. Her family name is Zhu, and that child is her younger brother. She has an older sister and 2 younger sisters. One is 9 years old and the other is 7 years old. One is called Brother Wang, and the other is called Brother Dai." The steward beckoned for the little girl to come over and introduced her to Zhang Zhong in great detail. Zhang Zhong immediately understood. There were 4 sisters in the family, and one of them had a younger brother. From the name, one could tell that there was a boy in the family. "Yes, sir." The little girl Pandy took a few steps forward and called out timidly to Zhang Zhong. "Oh, okay. Brother Pan, how did you come up with that idea? Zhang Zhong tried his best to make his voice as gentle as possible. He waved his hand and asked the person who was preparing the clothes for him to come over. He took the dry clothes from the person's hand, pulled off the blue silk shirt inside, and wrapped it around the naked child's body. "My lord, how could I bear to do that?" "Brother Pan, the Lord is asking you a question. Hurry up and answer." The steward felt a little distressed for the torn clothes, but at the same time, he was grateful to the county magistrate in his heart. He urged the little girl who didn't dare to speak. Brother Pan touched the silk cloth with her hand and felt the smoothness of it. Finally, she mustered up the courage to say, "My older sister is married. When I am at home, I have to take care of my younger sister and younger brother. I also have to work. I can't do it alone, so I thought of some things to do first and then to do later. That is, when I am chopping firewood, I let my third sister take care of my younger brother when I am picking vegetables, and let my fourth sister do the laundry. In the courtyard I can see them. When I go in to cook, I let my fourth sister take care of my younger brother and watch the pot, and let my third sister light the fire. When I am cooking, I can see them." Brother Pan couldn't explain it too clearly. She gave a simple example, which seemed to have nothing to do with the idea of working over there. Many people may only understand the general idea, but Zhang Zhong could understand the things contained in it. This was what his son and daughter-in-law talked about when they were arranging things in the family. Thinking that his son and daughter-in-law would always spend a lot of effort to cultivate some smart children, Zhang Zhong decided to keep this little girl. "Good, well said. Reward." Zhang Zhong nodded with satisfaction and gave a look to the person next to him. That person immediately took out a dozen copper coins and handed them over to Brother Pan. "Darren rewarded you. Quickly take it, otherwise, Darren will not be happy." The steward saw that Brother Pan didn't dare to reach out his hand, so he urged again. Zhang Zhong watched Brother Pan take the money and asked the steward, "Why are there so many children and old people?" "Darren, they are all working people's families. You let people eat a lot of food every day. Everyone found that as long as some wild vegetables are mixed in, more people can eat. The children can pick the wild vegetables, and the old people can help to repair the household furniture, weave baskets and so on. In the morning, the people close to the family called their families over. Darren, these people don't need to be paid. The food we eat every day is still the same food, oil and salt. We won't let Darren spend more money." The steward was a little worried and explained to Zhang Zhong, emphasizing that they didn't need to spend more money. He was afraid that the county magistrate would drive them away. When Zhang Zhong heard this, he felt uncomfortable in his heart. It was not caused by him, but now that it was under his control, he could not just grab the person surnamed one from the capital and make him spit out the money without a single cent missing. "Well, let's do it like this first. Tomorrow, let people send food, oil and salt. Add a little bit, and we'll be fine after this period of time." Zhang Zhong could only arrange like this. Driving people away was absolutely impossible. "Thank you, Darren. Everyone is relieved now. Darren, you haven't eaten yet, right? Let's eat here in a while," the steward said happily. The people around him who were also worried were now relieved. "I've eaten. You guys eat. I came over to take a look. Eat early and rest. I still have to continue working tomorrow." Zhang Zhong felt uncomfortable when he thought that there would be fat slices for him when eating. The steward waved his hand and asked the people around him to disperse. "Darren, I'm not tired. Usually when I find something to do, I can only get one meal. Once I work, it will take an entire day." Zhang Zhong nodded and didn't say anything more. He followed the steward, who took a set of dry clothes to a corner and pulled up a curtain to change his wet clothes. This night was another night that made the people happy. The mark of the county magistrate as a good official had been deeply engraved in their hearts. The next morning, Zhang Zhong woke up and ate breakfast with the people. He prepared a little and looked up at the sky. The light rain was still falling. He knew that today was the time to face some things. He flipped over on his horse and led a group of guards. Under the respectful farewells of the people, he splashed the water and left. Registrar Jean and Deputy Xiao also woke up early in the morning. After freshening up, they took a carriage and went to the yamen. The merchants also brought the sellers of the fields over. The door of the yamen was half opened and propped up with a stick. They began to deal with the things that would happen today. Maybe it was because of the rain, or maybe the people really didn't have anything to trouble the yamen. After waiting for more than 2 hours, no one came. When the sound of the horses' hooves came, it also told the people that the county magistrate was here. Zhang Zhong came to the entrance of the yamen. He dismounted from the horse and landed on the ground. He straightened his official uniform, which was already wet, and stepped in. There were also people who prepared dry clothes for him to change into. After a busy period, Zhang Zhong finally came to the signing room while Registrar Zhan and Deputy Xiao were anxiously waiting. What happened to the two of you today? Last night, I went to the mountain to have a look. The progress is good, Zhang Zhong said to Registrar Zhan and Deputy Xiao indifferently. Deputy Xiao looked at Zhang Zhong's appearance and thought to himself, "You can just pretend here. Let's see what you will do later." Then he said, "County Magistrate Zhang, the people in the county live and work peacefully. There is nothing to do today. Oh, those businessmen have come and bought the land. Why don't we deal with their land first? Isn't it a little too rushed? It's still raining outside. Even if we buy the land, we can't immediately build the house." Zhang Zhong said so deliberately. Sure enough, his words made Registrar Zhan and Deputy Xiao reveal an expression that said they already knew it. Deputy Xiao wouldn't let go of the opportunity. He continued, "It's raining now, so we can't build the house. But we can do other things. The main thing is to let the businessmen rest assured. Look, Registrar Zhan and I have written down what you said. As long as they come and read it, we three will stamp it, and it will be done." When he spoke, he deliberately emphasized the word stamp and looked at Zhang Zhong with a smile. Zhang Zhong cooperated with him and hesitated for a moment. He said, "Why don't we take a good look at it? If there is something not suitable, won't someone suffer losses? Whether it's suitable or not depends on what the businessmen say. County Magistrate Zhang, I think you won't think it's not suitable. Why haven't you come yet?" Deputy County Magistrate Xiao looked at the door when he was talking. Zhang Zhong thought that when he came in, Shen Wendan passed by behind him. He should be looking for the businessman. Seeing Deputy County Magistrate Xiao looking at the door, Zhang Zhong also looked at the door. Speak of the devil. In less than 10 breaths, the sound of footsteps could be heard. After waiting for a few breaths, Shen Wendan came with a group of businessmen. First, the person who sold the land and the businessmen made a deal. In this kind of deal, it didn't have to use the county magistrate's seal. There were 3 people in the yamen who could take care of things. Any one of them would do. Therefore, Zhang Zhong didn't take out his seal. Deputy Xiao didn't force him. He stamped with his seal and waited for the person who sold the land to go out. He said to the businessmen, "This is the document drafted by the county. Take a look. Is there anyone who disagrees with it?" A piece of paper was sent to the businessmen. They just went through it. Yesterday they already knew what was written on it. Each of them had a copy. After glancing at it, they shook their heads to show that they didn't disagree with it. "Put your fingerprints." Deputy Xiao stamped the paper with his seal one by one. Registrar Zhan also followed suit. Then the businessmen put their fingerprints on the paper. One by one, they put their fingerprints on the paper and put their red fingerprints on the paper. After the fingerprints were put, everyone's eyes were on Zhang Zhong. Deputy Xiao finished a piece of paper and handed it to Zhang Zhong respectfully. "County Magistrate, it's your turn." Chapter 336. Zhang Zhong took the paper and looked at those businessmen. The businessmen didn't know what was going on with the people in the government office. They were expecting the county magistrate to stamp the paper. This was something that they could exchange with ginseng. Zhang Zhong then turned his gaze to Shen Wendan. Shen Yuan jumped in fright, thinking that the county magistrate already knew that he was the one who hired someone to steal the seal. He quickly lowered his head, his hands trembling by his side. His reaction made Zhang Zhong's eyes light up. He was worried that he couldn't find the person who stole the paper. Unexpectedly, there was someone who looked at him with fear. This meant that this matter at least had something to do with him. Wei Wei nodded. Zhang Zhong then looked at Registrar Jean. Registrar Jean returned a complicated look and said nothing. Of course, he wouldn't tremble either. The last one was Deputy County Magistrate Xiao. Deputy County Magistrate Xiao looked at Zhang Zhong fearlessly with a hint of mockery in his eyes. Zhang Zhong smiled and deliberately said to County Deputy Xiao, "Can I stamp the paper?" "Are you kidding, sir? How can this kind of thing be taken lightly?" County Deputy Xiao sneered. "Oh, in that case I will stamp it." As Zhang Zhong said, he put his hand into his chest and slowly took it out. Under the eyes of the people with different thoughts, Zhang Zhong held something wrapped in silk cloth in his hand. He pulled the ink pad closer and slowly undid the silk cloth. When the last button was undone, a golden paper appeared in front of everyone. When Zhang Zhong picked up the paper and was about to dip it in the ink pad, Xin Yuan couldn't help but exclaim, "This is impossible. How can the paper be in your hand?" "Shut up. What are you talking about?" County Deputy Xiao didn't expect Xin Yuan to be so immature. He scolded him and said to Zhang Zhong with a smile, "Sir, Shen Wendian means that you didn't ask your subordinates to take care of your paper?" Zhang Zhong was finally sure. He nodded. "Yes, Shen Wendian must want to know why I didn't ask my subordinates to take care of it." "Guards." The last three words were shouted to the outside. Immediately, 2 guards came in and waited outside. "Shen Wendian wants to know why the seal isn't in someone else's hands, but in my possession. Take him out and tell him why. You must tell her that you understand," Zhang Zhong said with a sullen face. He hated this Xin Yuan to death, and wished that he could strangle him to death right now. If it wasn't for his son's preparations, it wouldn't have been easy to handle this time. The 2 guards who came in immediately understood what was going on and replied, "Yes." The 2 of them reached out with one hand each and grabbed Xin Yuan's shoulders. Like a little chick, they carried Xin Yuan out of the room. Xin Yuan finally reacted and shouted, "It's none of my business. Deputy Xiao, help." Registrar Jean, help. "It's none of my business." Zhang Zhong didn't seem to hear him, and continued stamping the seal seriously. Registrar Jean and Deputy Xiao didn't know what to do now. They stared at the seal in Zhang Zhong's hands, and seemed to be trying to figure out what had happened. Could it be that someone saw Xin Yuan hiding the seal? Zhang Zhong ignored Registrar Jean and Deputy Xiao. As he stamped the seal, he said to the merchants calmly, "I came to Huayuan County to be the county magistrate, because I want to let the people in the county live a good life. I know what you all wanted to do a few days ago. Originally, I wanted to do a good job, but I feel that it's the nature of merchants to pursue profit. There's no right or wrong in making money. So, I let you all stay and let Erniu take you to see the land. I hope you can understand my good intentions." The merchants were frightened when they heard this. If they didn't see the county magistrate stamping the seal one by one, they would have thought that this matter was over. A clever merchant immediately said, "Sir, don't worry. We understand. If there is a chance in the future, we will definitely help you to let the people in Huayuan County live a good life." Zhang Zhong finished stamping the last seal, and put away the seal that belonged to the yamen. Then he said, "There's no need for that. There's a chance in the future. There's a chance in front of you now. You all have a lot of money. There are 16 of you. Let's start with 5,000 strings of cash each. With 80,000 strings of cash, you can do a lot of things." "Ah, sir, isn't that too much? That ginseng." A merchant couldn't help but say. A merchant couldn't help but speak up. 5,000 strings of cash was too much, and he had to mention the ginseng. Zhang Zhong smiled and said, "The ginseng? 3 of them are here. My son's illness has been cured long ago. It's just that he's naughty and pretended to be ill. If you all want it, I'll ask someone to get it and return it to you all." No. Sir, we don't mean that. We just want to ask if the ginseng is enough. If it's not enough, we will go and get more. Sir, we know that your family is not short of money. The money will be used on the people in the county. Sir, you are a good official, but you should have a name." Another merchant pulled the one who spoke just now to the back. He stood up and explained to Zhang Zhong. Zhang Zhong was prepared for this. He was still as polite as before. "Name? Yes. Didn't the document say that you will be fined for the land you occupy?" You will pay according to the highest price of the things that can be planted on the land. Sir, are you talking about planting flowers? But that is a field. We need to plant food. Sir, tell us what kind of plants will cost the most. We are willing to pay. This merchant should have thought of this. He thought that the most expensive thing to plant was the rice from the Zhang family. He sold the seeds by caddy. Even if he could produce 5 dan of rice from 1 mu of fertile land, it was only 500 caddies. 100 coins per caddy was only 50 strings of cash. So what? Of course, we can't plant flowers. You know that my family grows black fungus, right? Then let's calculate according to the amount of black fungus. I still have about 10 dan of dried black fungus at home. When I plant them, I only took up slightly more than 1 mu of land. If we calculate less, 1 mu of land will be 5 dan of dried black fungus. How much would that cost? Zhang Zhong said slowly. His words were like thunder in the merchant's ears. This was still considered less. 5 dan of dried black fungus would be 500 caddies of dried black fungus. How much would a caddy of dried black fungus cost? The cheapest place would cost about 10 strings of cash. When there was a shortage, there was no market. Even if it was priced at 20 strings of cash, there would still be people fighting to buy it. If this was the case, each of them occupied about 2 mu of land. How much would that be? 20,000 strings of cash. It couldn't be calculated like this. Not only were the merchants confused, Registrar Official Zhan and District Deputy Xiao were also confused. They didn't want to think about the stamp for the time being. They were thinking about how much money Zhang Zhong's family had. Zhang Zhong knocked on the table and said, "How is it? Do you understand? Have you thought it through?" Yes. In the future, the land will be calculated according to the price of the vegetables in the winter. You only need to pay a few hundred strings of cash per mu of land. It's close to the capital. If you occupy that land, don't tell me you want to make a lot of money in the past? Understood. Sir, we understood just now. Each person will pay 5,000 strings of cash. We will send it to the yamen in 2 days. Not a single coin less. According to the rules, there should be 40% of the silk. Sir, don't worry, we will choose the better silk and send it to you. The merchants wiped their sweat. They just exchanged glances and knew what to do. Paying 5,000 strings of cash was better than paying 20,000 strings of cash every year. It seemed that they wouldn't be able to make money this year. It would be good if they could break even. Zhang Zhong also didn't want to ask for copper coins. Silver, copper, and silk were all used as currency. His son said that the imperial court had mandatory requirements for currency. With 80,000 strings of cash, his family could withdraw money first and then repair this and that. It was enough. How much money did the imperial court have this year? 80,000 strings of cash. It was a huge amount of money to spend on a county. Zhang Zhong was in a good mood on this matter. He comforted them. 5,000 strings of cash is not a small amount. When you finish repairing things over there, I will give you a few pointers. You will benefit a lot. Yes, sir. We will go back and prepare. When the time comes, please give us more pointers. The merchants were relieved. The Zhang family's ability to make money was needless to say. The county magistrate didn't seem like the kind of person who didn't keep his word. One by one, they happily said a few words, and then left one after another. After the merchants left, only Zhang Zhong, Registrar Zhan, and Deputy Xiao were left in the room. Zhang Zhong smiled and said to the 2 people, "This time, I have to thank the 2 of you for facilitating this matter. If the 2 of you hadn't been busy there, how could I get so much money for the yamen? I don't know how Shenwendi's side is going. Let's go and have a look." As he spoke, Zhang Zhong got up. Ilua's contract was in his hand. He didn't want to put it in the yamen. What if someone stole it? Even the official seal was stolen. What else couldn't be stolen? Registrar Zhan and Deputy Xiao were most afraid of Zhang Zhong mentioning this matter. However, Zhang Zhong still mentioned it. Registrar Zhan was the first to compromise. He said to Zhang Zhong, "County Magistrate, I didn't expect you to be so powerful. You can get 80,000 strings of cash for the yamen in one go. That's great. In the future, Our Huayuan County will definitely catch up with Sanshui County. Milord, when this lowly one does things in the future, I hope that Milord can give me some pointers like what you just said to the merchants. This lowly one is prone to making small mistakes. If I accidentally offend Milord, please be magnanimous and not hold it against this lowly one. Registrar Jean had to say this. He wasn't sure if Shinwendi could handle it. If he confessed everything, what should he do? Well, not bad. Registrar Jean has seen things clearly. If you can still do things in the Yamen in the future, then do it well. The Yamen is short of money. Zhang Zhong didn't want to let Registrar Jean off so easily. If he didn't let him know how powerful he was, he wouldn't have time to deal with him if something happened again. Registrar Jean understood and said, "You're right. Those merchants gave me and Deputy Xiao 5 strings of cash in advance. Actually, it was for the Yamen. I forgot to mention it yesterday. I'll get someone to send the money over later." That's good. What did Deputy Xiao say? Zhang Zhong asked Deputy Xiao. You're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.